Welcome to the Goods from the Woods. My name is Rivers Langley.
And I'm Carter Glasscock.
And today we are joined for part 2 of Y2K. With our friend Kyle Clark,
hey,
who's here.
There
he is.
Guys, I feel so hyped to do this. I want to pitch out. Let's just start with the second half of 2000. Then let's just pick a real trash year. I'm going to throw out 2011. And just do that.
2011.
Just fucking power through it. I feel like let's do it.
And joining us, we have tagged in some new tag team partners for this one. It's our friends
Holly Perkins
and
Seth Pomeroy. What's up, America?
Hello.
I'm here.
So we had such a good time last week covering January through June. We decided to do it again this week with July through December. And but because we've got new partners in crime here on the other side of the table, we need to do a couple personal recaps for some music. So we'll let Carter talk about something that came out in the previous time period.
I want to talk about something that came out in the previous time period, as in 45 minutes ago, because the kayfabe is that this is next week.
Yeah.
But these psychos have been recording all day. My God. But I will. So yes, we were talking about albums that came out in 2000, and I wanted to mention the Deftones' White Pony. It was into a flag. So you never. It's a very like the lyricism. I'll let you finish. There's more to the song. It's a 4-minute song. So keep going. No. Keep going. But anyways. So yeah, a lot of that kind of lyricism where it's like saying far away and stuff like that. Very vague, very like I'm distressed, but in a mall kind of way. But I will say it like shows. I was a huge fan of the Deftones at the time. I pre-ordered this CD from Coconuts, and I got the special edition that had the bonus track of Back to School on it. And it had it was an enhanced CD back then where you could put it in your fucking Windows 98 and shit. And you could I think there was like a game on it, and there was like a video for change.
Can I let you guys in on a secret? We can still get advanced CDs made.
Oh, yeah.
That is a possibility on places I've been to.
Needs
and
to happen.
We're not going to do one day.
I mean, now people put all that enhanced shit on YouTube.
But what if we sold it to them on a CD for no reason? Yeah.
See, I would buy that because I'm 36.
Exactly.
I need stuff in my life that makes me want to get up in the morning. I would say, but it was the 2000 of nu metal. There's a slight difference in 99 nu metal and 2000 nu metal.
Absolutely.
Like 99 nu metal is like Korn, Limp Bizkit. Like it's like unabashedly goatee butt rock. Like it's full blown school shooter butt rock. But like
Don't make me have to come to Korn's defense either.
Hey, saw a Korn concert well into my 30s.
The reason that I defend Korn within it is only because my brother plays the band called Tide Mouth. They're like a goth hardcore band, and they play with a lot of goth and hardcore like heavy bands.
Right.
And there's a lot of like young millennial and Gen Z players in hardcore because it's a real popular run of genres right now.
Right.
And every single one of those fucking kids will cite Korn as one of the biggest influences on what got them to play guitar.
Nu metal has come back in a huge way right now.
Truly mind-boggling.
Like Gen Z kids fucking love nu metal right now, which is like it's because it speaks to that age range.
Have you heard
like,
the 100 Geck nu metal song? It's so well made.
I'm sure. I mean, I'm sure it is. It's like, so I think the thing is about what that White Pony in particular like signifies is like this like band that was like kind of its time, like incorporating alternative rock influences, which is why it's still so like revered because it's like it's got like it sounds like they listen to The Cure and The Smiths and shit like that.
I think it's a heavy conversation with Morning View from Incubus too, where all of a sudden it goes from being aggressive to being psychedelic.
I could see like Morning View being like this mixture of like Korn and like Jimmy Buffett.
Like, aqueous transmission is the like good trip you have, and then White Pony is the like opiate addiction you have when you're 19.
Yeah, I mean, and that was I would say Korn style nu metal is more influential now, especially in terms of hardcore. But like the Deftones was like the most influential like kind of metal throughout like the 2000s and the
It's
2010s.
what makes shoegaze popular, in my opinion.
Yeah,
I think,
like-
that's how that picks up.
Oh, dude, like bands like Deaf Heaven and whatever,
And Place to Bury
ISIS,
Strangers.
yeah, all those bands were like heavy influenced by like shoegaze and stuff. But I didn't know that at the time. I was 13 years old. I was just like, this rules, and I'm gonna eat an entire box of Cheez-Its and lose my shit to it in my room.
Yeah, smash up that box of Cheez-Its. Beat
Yeah,
the shit.
I did because I was like, man, I'm so fucking damaged.
We're like
dude.
a year away from Munchies coming out.
Oh yeah, I was so. I mean, my little fucking fat brain was completely sober and angry about
Yeah,
something.
that's why you were angry. You had to
I didn't
smoke
even.
some weed.
I wasn't even like attracted to anybody. I was just like, man, I'm complex. I wanted to be complex.
Yep.
But yeah, I love that. I still like that album. So I still love it. Still love it.
It's a great record. I came to it later.
Oh, it's amazing. Yeah, it's and that band is still like very
Gore was
respected.
great.
Oh yeah, Gore's great. I mean, Ohms was great. That last
Yeah.
one they came out with. They're still like a respected band, and I think they have like a fucking like hazy IPA
Yeah,
out
they
now.
absolutely do.
Yeah, and just like Stone Cold.
Because they're a band that is old.
And they're from Sacramento, and they're basically like Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Are you
now.
an old band? You want to have a beer named after you?
I mean,
It's
yeah.
gotta be an IPA.
In
It's gotta
exchange,
be an
your
IPA.
fans will buy it.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Not
but yeah.
applicable to the Misfits.
What do you got, Holly? I know you were younger than everybody here at the time. Tell us about
Yes.
that.
I was 7 turning 8.
All right.
In this year of our Lord 2000. And to me, that meant No Strings Attached from NSYNC and Oops, I Did It Again from Britney Spears.
Yeah, hell yeah.
NSYNC was my first concert that like I wanted to go to, and I went to the No Strings Attached tour.
We played an ad that they ran on local television for the concert that begins with someone screaming, and it goes, "Scream all you want, you can't avoid NSYNC on tour." Like, literally, that was the fucking
Could have
ad.
been me.
What
Yeah.
promotion?
I was
Yeah.
screaming for NSYNC. I had like plays that I would act out to the songs from that album.
Oh, yes. Tell me
Like-
everything.
There's a song called Girlfriend. I think it's on No Strings Attached, which is basically just my favorite member of NSYNC, JC Chazé, pining for a girl.
Interesting.
Look, I mean, choices were made then. If only I knew now what I know now.
Yeah,
Look
Some
you
who
know.
girls
she's dating
dance with women.
currently. which fucking NSYNC member am I?
I was gonna say you are definitely the JC of this
Okay.
room. You're the JC Chazé.
But it's basically him pining for this girl to be his girlfriend, and I would like act like I was a girl, being like, "I will never be your girlfriend."
Hell
And-
yeah.
Sandre.
And then there's in the Britney Spears "Oops, I Did It Again." She does a break where she acts out a scene in the music video and in the song.
Is that where she yells, "Stop"?
No,
And then-
that's
good.
a different. That's a
That's a
whole
good move.
different song.
Is it?
Yeah, but no, in this one there's.
Oh, I'm thinking of
it's,
Crazy. Sorry.
It's all right. I'll forgive you for that mistake.
Yeah, what's your play for that one?
A guy gives her the necklace from the Titanic movie, and
Hell
she
yeah.
goes,
But I thought the old lady dropped it into the ocean in the end.
Well, baby, I went down and got it for you.
Aw, you shouldn't have.
And he
JC?
didn't implode
I was
at all.
about to say.
"This is how it plays out."
I had to
She
leap
goes,
onto the base. Sorry.
I was headed there too.
He says, "Well, baby, I went down and got it for you. Aw, you shouldn't have." Break. Oops, right into the song.
Fuck yes.
God, that's awesome.
And then Lucky was my favorite song. It came out like right around my birthday, so maybe July 2000.
Oh, yeah,
the
sure.
single of Lucky, which was my favorite one. And then I lived next door to a girl, and all summer we made up dances, and then for every show and tell for like the next fall, we would just do dances from Oops, I Did It Again.
Oh, wow.
For our entire class.
Hell yes.
So, and now that I'm a performer, you know, they should consider themselves lucky to have seen early performances of.
That's right. A budding
Could
artist.
be a one-woman show.
I was
one
gonna
day,
say,
you know?
Shake down some of those parents, see if they've got VHS tapes or
If-
DV cams that you can get early bootlegs from.
if I may,
Please.
they're so lucky because you're a star.
Honestly.
Yeah.
And they
Thank
cry,
you.
cry all alone in the dark.
Yeah,
thinking,
yeah. While you're in Hollywood,
I mean-
baby.
that's right.
I still
Just
know
not getting
moves
the point
to
of the
it.
song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oops, you did it again. You did it many times.
Lucky's my favorite song, you know, where being a celebrity works out great.
Hey, Rivers, what was your collapse joke going to be? I kind of want to know.
Oh, I was just going to say what happened to him when he got to the Titanic to get the necklace. You know.
R.I.P. Maybe they were part of Britney's resurgence.
Yeah,
And then it didn't work out for them either. Sorry.
No, it's okay.
No, just to Britney.
Just
I don't want to be on
apologize.
record.
She's on the internet. She'll
If
hear
she
this.
unsubscribes from the Patreon,
I don't.
Be upset.
I love you,
Reactive.
B.
Seth, you've got a recap album for us, don't
Yes,
you?
I
And this
do.
is a big one. I
That's a
think.
big one for me. And I will preface this by saying also there's a movie I should mention that already came out.
no deal.
Yes, it's happening.
Trying to sell it once you're on
It's
mic
a bad
live.
movie, and I bet
We're
you guys
live. Cut his mic.
I bet you guys love the band. That's the bands that are on the soundtrack. Titan AE.
Oh,
Okay.
like Creed?
Jesus. Yeah, it's like Creed and shit. It's a lot of Creed type bands.
Yeah.
The Don Bluth movie. That was the first time I ever smoked pot. I went and saw that movie, and at the end
Holy
of it,
shit.
yeah, at the end of it, like press a button, and then a planet appears out of nowhere, and I was like, "Weed's pretty cool." Wow. So to preface where I was in life was smoking a lot of weed and working
Wow.
at a movie theater.
That's funny. I also smoked pot for the first time in 2000, but I was 14. So,
well,
yeah.
I
was
didn't
what?
even really know what pot was
17
at that
years
point.
old.
I was gonna say.
I mean,
I had older brothers that would go on to do harder drugs.
Yeah.
So they were just
I was like, yeah. If I'd seen y'all do that, I'd be like, y'all are some bad kids,
Yeah.
dude.
dude, I mean,
You were an adult man.
17-year-old as an adult man.
close
You're
enough.
18 years
Seth,
old.
not.
Seth was 38 in 2000.
Yeah, that's right, totally. No, but music-wise, yes.
His
I wanted.
kids got him high.
I was in indie rock land like a motherfucker at this point in my
Sure.
life because my older brother's influence and some of the great. I mean, I made a movie about a band called Silkworm that also put an album out in 2000, but not culturally relevant, I guess. America.
Is it
One
like-
day we'll wake you up to it.
Lifestyle?
which
Yeah.
is the best Silkworm album. So actually, fuck it, buy Silkworm Lifestyle. It's a great 2000s
Yeah,
album.
this is a rad album.
But anyway, so
and it'll get you interested, and then you'll see the documentary.
yeah, and
Yeah,
it'll
it's a
change
great
your fucking
documentary.
life, and we'll take our country back. All right, so I don't know why it's so. I've never had ownership. I've never had ownership of this country at all. I don't know why. It's not like,
I also like that Seth specializes in two-step art.
yeah, that's right. You goddamn right.
Learn about the thing, and then you can learn more about the thing.
Yeah, and then you fucking change your life. And get down with the
take the
cause,
country back.
motherfuckers. Is what I'm saying. What the cause is, I'm not so sure, but we'll talk. Anyway,
It's open to suggestion.
I'm down with this new shit. This AI shit. This AI life. We'll just make it up. Okay, anyways. So yeah, Elliott Smith Figure Eight. That was like
Yes.
the most important record to me in 2000. And it came out in April.
Yeah.
And I graduated right when it came out from high school. So I graduated at the Grand Ole Opry. Like we did it on the
What?
stage there.
Cool.
Yeah, it was wild. It was nuts. And then my grandfather's funeral was at the Ryman Auditorium. So very weird.
I was about to ask if you meant the Ryman or like the big
no,
one.
the other way
big
around.
one.
Yeah, they do funerals at the Ryman in my world.
Do you do
Yeah.
grad night at Opryland?
What's that?
Do you do grad night at Opryland?
Yeah.
Fuck
Yeah, absolutely. And everyone was getting drunk in the parking lot and being horrible because it's like
I did
it's
awful
unregulated
things at
as fuck.
Disneyland, and yet somehow I'm jealous.
Yeah. Well, it was.
I have a
well,
TV,
imagine.
so suck it.
Yeah. Imagine I'm in like a I guess I'm in a 1991 Nissan Stanza blaring this Elliott Smith record.
Fuck
And I'm
yeah.
like, he's fucking got electric guitars on this shit now. You think he's sad, but he's really a rocker.
Yeah.
I was like all the way in, and I still am. I think it's his best record.
Son of Sam is one of the best opening tracks.
I love it. His guitar playing on that record is incredible, and he did a lot more like with arrangements.
like Heat Miser vibe.
Yeah, and I fucking love Heat Miser.
Yeah.
I also bought Heat Miser at a block. I bought the album Mike City Sons at a
City Sons.
Blockbuster Music because I had a gift certificate.
Oh, man.
So that was
Yeah,
probably
throwback,
in 2000
dude.
as well. And I love Neil Gust, who's the other guy in that band too. Number 2's an awesome band. Listen to that band too. But anyways, Elliott Smith Figure Eight. That album rules. I love it so much. It's right at like the peak where he's not totally on drugs and things, and he's sort of just getting his life together and staying busy. And
Well, he
so-
was on manageable drugs.
Oh, he was doing drugs, but it was more. He had too many things he had to show up for.
Right.
And so it's harder to do drugs when your bandmates are like also all getting paid, and it's no longer like a small venture.
Yeah.
I saw him on the Figure Eight tour, so it was the first time he's playing with a full band. I'm also a huge fan of the band Quasi, and the keyboard player in that band, who was also in Heat Miser, played bass with him. So I was like, holy shit, I'm also going to get to see Sam Coombs play with Elliott Smith. This is going to be incredible.
Right.
So I go to this show. It's at 328 Performance Hall, which doesn't exist anymore. It's like a giant warehouse. They come out to play, and the fucking electricity goes off the second they get on stage. Or they were. I'm sorry, the roadies were like almost done setting things up, and then the lights went off. So like 20 minutes pass, and then Elliott Smith comes out, and everyone goes nuts, and he's like, you're never going to be able to hear me if you don't.
Yeah,
It's everybody to be very, very quiet.
It's like, fortunately, I'm really good at the thing that's about to happen.
Totally. And he was like, hey guys, like, I understand there's a power outage. I don't know what's going to happen with it. This is obviously a full band tour and we'd love to play those songs, but like, I can play songs with just a guitar and no mic if we can be quiet enough
No,
to do it.
please don't.
Yeah, but you got to understand, like, drunk assholes in National 2 is like, play Division Day, motherfucker! And he kept going, I can't see my hands. I can't see my hands. I can't play as long as I can see my hands. And then it's like, no, play Division in between every song. And he's like, I can't see my hands, dude. So anyway, so he played like maybe 10 songs and it was incredible. And little by little, they got the piano. They wheeled the piano out, and Sam Coombs came out and played piano.
Oh, my God.
And so it was just guitar and piano and him singing, and
Holy
then
shit.
the electricity came on. So then they went backstage, came back out, and played the full band show. And it was like 20 songs. They covered "I Me Mine" by the Beatles.
Oh,
It was like fucking incredible.
That's what you go to concerts for.
Oh,
Yeah.
the best concert experience I probably ever had.
Oh,
I mean, it
hell
was,
yeah.
and you know, and he's one of the only people that can maybe deliver the power of the song by himself.
yeah, of course.
You know what
yeah.
I mean? To really, like, it was like seeing two complete shows that were both fucking amazing.
Yeah.
That were completely different.
Oh,
you know?
our friend Yorgo wrote in when we kind of mentioned Figure Eight last time, and said he was also a senior that year, and it meant a lot to him. And when he texted that, or when he sent that to me on Instagram, I was like, "Have you seen the video of Elliott Smith with the puppets? Have you seen the video of Elliott Smith with the puppets?"
Yes, and what's so fucking great about that is everyone's sort of like, hey, we're just doing our morning show.
They're like,
jamming
"Hey,
up."
there's this weird angry
Yes.
guy from Portland,"
Yeah,
and then
and
he destroys them with Clementine.
It's about maybe the fourth line that they're like, whoa, this guy's kind of brilliant. And everyone just
They
shuts
just
the
they
fuck
just start
up.
panning
It's
around to people in the studio, and they're all
incredible.
like on the brink of tears. And
Yes.
you're like, yeah.
And even the puppets like stop being
Yeah.
puppets. They just
Yeah.
kind of sit there because
Yeah.
everyone's kind of like, whoa, how is
Like
he?
they came in just being like, "Oh, here's this like kind of strung out weird kid from Portland," and then
cool.
it's like, "Oh no, you didn't realize the weight of the world was about to come down upon you with
Do
this
you
guy's
understand
song."
that that's the opening sequence of the biopic?
No, it's gotta be.
Yeah.
Like, that is, you open on a fucking puppet and people and a groovy, crazy audience of the worst versions of America at that time.
That's right.
And then
No, it's
you
the
fucking
90s.
see that little slump and he plays that and you hold on all those. That is your fucking opening shot.
Yeah, that's an awesome
Hell
thing.
yeah.
Smash
I'm
cut
glad
to
that's on the
his
internet.
death.
Yeah.
Smash cut to the beginning.
Well, let's get into some of the cultural milestones from this year. July 1st, we lost Walter Matthau, died of a heart attack at
Best.
79.
Oh my
Oh,
god,
damn, dude.
Charlie Barrett, god damn it! Everyone
I was gonna
should
say,
watch Charlie Barrett.
Taking a
Did you know how much he loves
Taking a
Walter
Pelham,
Matthau before
1,
you
2,
brought
3.
this up? Because
Yeah.
Those are two
I
of the
was
best
gonna
movies
mention
ever
it
made.
if it
Which
didn't
one movie?
because-
Hopscotch fucking rules too. Taking a Pelham.
Taking a
1, 2,
Pelham.
3.
It's like,
So fun fact,
Oh,
I only
so
saw
good.
that movie for the first time last year, I think, and it's so good.
It's
So good.
fucking
It's so,
good.
and it's like funny and intense.
It is.
Yeah.
It's like there's so many moving parts to it. I think it's why it's hard to explain to people.
Yes.
Because
Yeah.
the only way you can describe it is like it's just really good.
He's so like he doesn't give a fuck, and he's just
Yeah.
kind of put in the scenario and he's working it out, but he's never like tense or freaked out. Like he was amazing at that. You know,
Yeah.
and he had, by the time I was growing up, he had a whole second career of comedy and
Mr.
stuff.
Wilson,
right.
That's
grumpy old
70s.
man.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I was not aware that he did anything but like, because, you know, he was
Grumpy
an
old
odd
men.
couple too. So I figured like
Yeah.
he was like just did comedy.
Yeah.
I didn't know he
Yeah.
did like
Oh,
action.
man.
or-
Taking a Pelham 1, 2, 3 will blow your fucking mind.
Oh, have you not?
Yeah.
seen
All
it?
right.
Oh, you will.
You will
fucking
lose your- yeah.
love it. I
Do
mean,
you-
I
It's
guarantee.
so
it.
good.
Look, I'm a big John Travolta fan, so I think I just got to go with the new one.
Hey,
I'm
that's-
sorry.
That's so painful.
Here's the thing,
Trav.
though. I've also been told that like that one's good too.
I've heard it's decent.
Like,
yeah,
isn't
it's
that
one of those couple ones where
Tony
remakes
Scott?
like it's close. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
Tony,
Tony
Scott.
Scott.
Yeah, that guy doesn't fuck
But
around.
he
And
does
Ethan
this,
Hawke.
he does this weird like motion frame rate thing throughout the whole thing that is like so fucking 2003.
It's some
like-
collateral
shit.
It's like painful to look at.
So that same day, Vermont becomes the first state to offer a civil union status to same-sex couples,
Hey.
encompassing the same legal rights as and responsibilities as marriage. On June 18th, opponents of the legislation placed a full-page ad in the Burlington Free Press that said, quote, "The work of the insufferable hubris of the narcissistic gay lobby that would place personal pleasure over public order is awful."
Oh yeah, back then that was
is
And they-
Yeah.
Yeah.
the whole thing. It was so like based around this argument, like it's pleasure.
Yeah.
They're just indulging in this delicious
All they
pleasure.
want is a wedding.
It's not love. It's
Look at how happy they are and how muscular.
they're exploding with pleasure.
I love it.
I'm so glad we can look back at these things and rest easy knowing that this kind of bullshit, is safely behind behind us, and assholes like this won't be seen again.
Wait, same day Walter Matthau dies. Coincidence?
You know?
I know. I was like, sad day for him.
They confused it and thought Jack Lemmon and him were like,
Yeah.
what? No.
Hey, the couples. These couples.
That odd couple would have loved to get married.
I was about to say, the couples in question are not odd. They're just like everybody else. They just want to love and have their rights recognized.
They changed it to the couple.
The couple, yeah.
Walter would have liked it.
July 5th, the Big Brother television program premieres on CBS.
Yes.
Also still running. CBS, they had Survivor this year. They had Big Brother this year. They had CSI this year. CBS is
This is
killing
where they
it.
ascend.
Fire.
Yeah, absolutely.
Big Brother, the first reality show I stopped watching.
During the Omarosa, did she come out of that? Or am
No,
I
she was
of
out of
my
The
mind?
Apprentice.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So she
yeah.
went on Big Brother after she got fired by
She was on
Big
Celebrity Big Brother.
That's
Yeah.
right. That's right. July 7th, Scary Movie is released.
Oh.
So
man.
I saw that movie opening night. My whole family, plus my friend Kevin Sulla, all went, and my mother was mortified.
Yeah.
Really?
I remember the part where he blasts her onto the ceiling with
Cum.
the amount of cum that he shoots.
That was after he chainsaws her bush down.
Yeah, I learned some things from
Yep.
that movie as a 12-year-old.
Oh yeah, this is the introduction of fellow Chris Pratt hater and all-around delight Anna Faris.
Yeah.
This was her first acting job.
I love
So she apparently
rules. She's
What
great.
a treasure! Yeah,
So-
I was gonna say what a great comedic
great
actor.
she apparently at some point her and her friends were like, well, we could either go to Denver or we could go to LA, and then they just went to LA, and then she got this movie. It's
Whoa.
like fucking crazy.
And then she's
Oh,
like
that's
the
right.
anchor of the
Fucking-
franchise.
Yeah.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Oh yeah, for
yeah.
sure. She's the Leslie
The best.
Nielsen of Scary Movie.
Yeah. It is.
Yeah. The screen-
Even when Leslie Nielsen shows up.
This shit is banging. He says that in Scary Movie 3.
love it.
Yeah, to Ja Rule.
Big fan.
So this movie unfortunately does set off a pretty disastrous trend. The screenplay was developed by the Wayans brothers, but at the same time, Miramax was developing a spoof of a Scream scripted by two guys named Jason Friedberg and Aaron Seltzer.
God,
Called-
the worst screenwriting team of all time.
I don't know.
So you'll know in a minute.
You'll not, like listen to their
Yeah,
movies they've
yeah.
made.
Strap in, baby.
Yeah, so the movie they were making was called Shriek If You Know What I Did Last
I've
Friday
seen it.
the
I've seen it.
13th. But due to a WGA decision, all 6 writers were credited, despite Friedberg and Seltzer not actually working on the film in question.
Fuck yeah, Hollywood.
This launched them as the go-to spoof movie guys. They did date movie, epic movie,
course,
disaster
not another
movie,
teen. Sure.
Meet the Spartans, all that
yes.
shit.
For some reason,
Don't say
Borat's
not
in all
another
of
teen.
them.
That's a good one.
Different people?
Yeah.
Those are the most painfully unfunny movies
Yeah, it's
ever
crazy.
made.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
It's just more like this thing happened, and then there's like no joke, and,
Oh.
and they've somehow shoehorned like Borat
I
into
will
like every single one of
say-
those
It's like what
movies.
YouTube channels are
It's
now.
what
Yeah.
people think Family Guy is.
Yes, exactly. Yes,
I will say that. As somebody who
funny.
doesn't love Family
Yeah,
Guy
I'm
but
not a fan of
appreciates
either.
that it fucking has some level of batting average, but I will say I feel like people think they are referencing when they are referencing
Yeah.
those parodies.
Yeah, I think you're right.
It's-
because those are just say a reference on screen.
random pop culture generator. Like that's what
Yeah.
they think it is.
Yeah.
Pop-Tart Barbie.
yeah, yeah, Mr. T Toast or some shit. Yeah.
I genuinely think that if the IRS did a deep dive into Seltzer and the other guy, this is like money laundering for Russian mobsters or some
Really?
shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
July 10th.
I think it's a genuine desire to spoof 300.
they just have a passion.
Every
that.
single actor has Coke taped to their body in every
Oh, yeah.
The Passion of the Borat?
Yeah.
Green
Oh,
light.
I'd watch that.
Yeah, wow, wow, wee, wow, as he's being nailed to the cross.
I'm looking for Jesus.
Macross.
I did my best for none of that to go directly into the microphone. Really naturally came out.
July 10th, Heinz Easy Squirt multicolored ketchup
Finally.
is
I
released.
fucking love the
Because
purple
someone
ketchup.
answered my letters.
I
I learned there is a nice God.
I found it. I remember this because I always like to look up the food stuff, and this year. It's pretty hard to search because if you type in food introduced in 2000, it's like wackiest foods of the 2000s. You're
Yeah.
like, no, I want to dive down here.
Not the aughts.
Yeah, not the odds. I want this year,
Specific.
but yeah, I remember seeing it, putting on one hot dog. It was green. It looked
Yeah.
like baby shit, and it was like it was disturbing. It was disturbing to me.
I would not. I hated the green. Didn't like the red. The purple. I was like, I am the purple ketchup girl.
It's like this is barbecue sauce, but it tastes like
Yeah,
ketchup. I
and
fucking dig it. Yeah.
I would be like, oh, I don't want that ketchup, Mom. I want the easy. I want the purple ketchup. God,
I like your style.
So the flavors were blasting green, awesome orange,
Who amongst us hasn't blasted some green?
totally teal, stellar blue, which leads me to believe they might be Grateful Dead people. Stellar blue, passion pink,
Colored ketchup people.
Yeah, you mean high, they're high.
funky purple.
Yeah.
And then
Prince reference, gotta be.
And
So my
then-
dad's a bass player, and he always says funky, and he wears a lot of purple stuff. So so he would have totally consumed that.
And then the weirdest one, mystery color. So what this was a label that you couldn't see through, so it was just a surprise, whatever your ketchup was.
It was blood.
Sort of riffing on Airheads.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
There was a generation that enjoyed a game of chance.
Yeah. Well,
Mostly what it was.
they're back. There's Doritos Roulette now.
Yeah, I
Oh,
saw
yeah.
those.
July 12th, Pepsi Twist is released.
God damn, everybody's
man,
fucking around.
Pepsi Twist.
It's the
Telling
new
ya.
millennium. Everyone's like, what should we do? Let's fuck with this.
It's literally,
Lil Lemon.
it's literally just lemon and Pepsi.
That's
It's a
fine.
new twist on an old thing. That
Yeah.
was like that was the marketing go-to mindset for
I
the
miss
2000s.
Diet Coke Lime every fucking day.
That's why you go to the movies, baby. They got it in the
That's true.
freestyle.
But
Well,
that-
or
I was gonna
Wendy's.
say the freestyle you can put
I
fucking
know, but
whatever.
at that
in there.
point,
You can
I'm
get cotton
doing
candy Diet
I'm
Coke.
doing vanilla
Do it
Coke
right off the
Zero.
dome. Freestyle.
right off the dome.
Right off the dome.
I want a ribeye steak Diet Coke.
That's what you can do right
You
off
can
the
get
dome.
it door dashed to your stuff from the movie.
Can you?
Wait,
Oh,
really?
that's right. You can just
Yeah.
get
That's-
somebody to go pick up your popcorn
Yeah.
and bring it to your sad ass.
Yeah.
I know we live in the future, but like that is like a 9/11 reason.
Nah. Well, I will say they also have a freestyle at Wendy's too, so you could just go to
So
Wendy's.
you
yeah.
don't need to.
Our
and see it.
Jackbox implies it has one, but the idea of asking for a freestyle from the drive-through feels a little bit hubris.
Oh, I do it fearlessly at Wendy's every day.
I always ask them to freestyle rap. I'm like, can you
Every
freestyle?
fucking day, give me that grape Sprite.
My favorite
I don't want purple
freestyle
ketchup.
is the one at the Boston Market
Oh yeah.
in Van Nuys.
Wait, they have a
There is
freestyle?
one
The
other
Boston
person there.
market.
Oh,
Oh yeah. That's the saddest freestyle.
July 14th, later referred to as the Bastille Day event, a powerful solar flare leads to a geomagnetic storm upon the Earth. It's first I heard about
God
it.
Where the fuck was I? Yeah, I don't know that.
Notice those kinds
Yeah.
of.
Also, X-Men is released.
You're fucking right.
yeah.
I saw the
Which
day.
is
it came
a great movie directed by a total
Total
Piece of
monster.
shit, yeah.
There is
biggest.
there
piece of
will
shit.
be nothing in my lifetime that I will be more excited for than the first X-Men movie.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Brian Singer's
saw
pool
it.
party.
I saw it the night it came out. Man, I'd have gone at that point. I'd be like, do what you got to do. You made a fucking X-Men movie, bro. I owe you everything.
Oh, that's what everyone.
I talked about it on the last one that I used dial-up internet to like way more than I was telling my parents. Wait for this fucking real-time video of the trailer so I could still through it because it
Whoa.
wouldn't play.
Wow.
That's good shit.
Like I was so like literally sitting in that theater for the first one and then went back. My dad literally took me back the next morning and I saw the first showing the next day again just because I was like, it exists. Like this is. Did you see the gang? They were all there.
Yeah.
Well, a budget collection of them were there.
Was that
Yeah,
was like the
right.
first like major
Blade. It's Blade and then this.
Blade was
this
the first
is
one.
Like
yeah.
there's a
but
very-
Blade was rated R, so
Yes.
not a lot of people.
But my dad took me.
Oh,
Because-
so you have a cool dad.
See, this is why I had that moment when I saw the fucking Captain America Civil War and stood up at the end and it was like, fuck, I'm done. I've reached the end. Like, I just rolled credits on superheroes in my life. Like it was amazing.
Wow.
And not in a like mad at it, but just in a like, it's gone.
yeah, it's that kind of way where you smile right before you put a
And-
gun in your mouth and blow your brains out.
Yeah, absolutely. But like, and so like, I understand that like people who love Iron Man and Dark Knight will have that moment where they will see
Yeah.
some decadent superhero thing one day and then go like, "Am I free?"
Do I never have to see another one? of these again?
I was like fucking downloading fucking rough copies of the Generation X TV movie off of
Oh my god! I actually taped that on
like
TV.
fucking.
100%.
I tried to get my parents to, and they wouldn't, which is why I had to chase it down.
I loaned it to you. We
Just,
didn't know
just
each other.
so many. It would have been inappropriate. Nah, we're close enough that it would have been like you'd have been like a guy at a show.
Yeah, I would have been like, look, you do it on your own time.
I'm glad to know I have a friend who's healthy enough to do that. Meanwhile, I was like, gotta see The Flash. I've heard it's dog shit. I need to see it with my eyes. I'm like Odysseus. Lash me to the mast. I have to see it.
I want to see Ezra Miller go insane.
So bad, dude.
I almost hit
amazing.
you up about
Google
it, Rivers,
Yeah.
because it is the kind
It's
of
on the
like
internet.
post-capitalist
right, yeah.
nightmare
It's
that
real
we
life
enjoy
crazy.
watching from time to time.
Oh yeah.
So perhaps when it's streaming, we'll do some sort of podcast thing with it.
I'm down. It's awful. I can't wait to watch it again. And I'll be first in line for Blue Beetle because that looks even worse.
Let me ask you this: if I just cut out, like, if I illegally downloaded it and I cut out every part but Michael Keaton's parts, would that be cool or would it suck awesome?
He's fine in it,
Okay,
but
cool. That's all I'm really gonna
but
do. Is
what's
skip the
happening-
movie
I
until
just
I'm
do just
like,
want
oh,
to see him be Batman again.
yeah. No,
Guys, you're part of the problem.
yeah,
I don't want to
know.
give them my
know.
goddamn money.
I'm on the AMC A list, so
too.
Oh, we just we just got on the
Yeah,
A-list,
so
bro.
go see it. It's
Hollywood.
trash.
You get here and they
I didn't know I was in this room with a bunch of A-listers.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
dude, come to Hollywood,
Sorry,
bro. You're gonna
guys.
meet a few.
Yeah,
damn.
Hell yeah.
Stay humble, but yeah, I'm also an A-lister.
Also, it is roughly the exact same plot as the Into the Spider-Verse movie, which
Yeah.
makes it so funny because I watched that, which is actually a good movie.
I'm fucking done on the multiverses,
What,
dude.
the newest one, I was pretty underwhelmed, honestly, but it looked fucking incredible.
Yeah,
Just
it's awesome.
Story-wise, you're kind of like another installment. Just
Yeah.
fucking tell a full story.
Nothing
You have
is
to-
filling me with more joy than watching society be annoyed by IPs and serialized storytelling.
You gotta resolve
Because
a goddamn
sometimes you're the
story.
guy fucking standing
Yeah.
in the park with a sign for a long time,
I bet.
and then all of a sudden everybody's like, "Hey, have you read
Coming
those
around.
signs?" I fucking like it's so valid. It means nothing to
Yeah.
me, but it is the most moral victory I've ever seen.
Yeah.
It's
Well-
like, hey, have you guys noticed that that's a bad way to tell things because it's the condo timeshare?
Yeah. Well, this is where it starts because X-Men makes a bajillion dollars
Yeah.
and everybody goes into overdrive for the next 23
Right.
and continuing
believe
years.
That's the
It is
first
good,
big
yeah.
superhero movie.
Fuck
And
yeah.
it was a budget. It was like $75 million,
Yeah.
which is
Yeah.
what like romantic comedies were.
Right, right.
Right, yeah.
It was like people were like, it's impossible to make a movie of this level at this budget. So it's
Yeah.
like it's a weird accomplishment. It's why when you watch it now, it feels like a play.
Yeah.
Also, Ian
We could shoot
McKellen
X-Men
and Brian
in this
Cox
room.
have completely been preserved in
Formaldehyde.
Yeah, formaldehyde. They
Yeah.
don't look any older, even
Yeah.
though
Oh,
it was
yeah.
23
That's
years
true,
ago.
Yeah. Also, same day as X-Men, little Rivers Langley turns 14 on the
Well, now.
on the
little guy.
on the
Well, now.
on the trail at Philmont Scout Ranch in New Mexico. I was in the middle of a 100-mile hike over the
Whoa.
course of
Right.
like 14 days, and after I was done, it's the skinniest I've ever been in my life.
Trees are being set on fire from that geostorm you were talking about
Yeah,
earlier.
yeah, exactly. That's why I didn't notice
Rivers,
it.
at the end of that, did you go, I'm done?
No.
I think I'm good with hiking.
No, I'll tell you exactly what I did at the end of that. I went back to Auburn. We flew home, and then I got a foot-long meatball sub, and I ate the
Like
whole
a
thing,
birthday boy,
and
yeah.
then just
Absolutely.
the most projectile of all vomits, like immediately, because I'd been eating dehydrated food cooked over a campfire for the last.
Slow down, buddy. Slow down, buddy.
No one told me that you have to readjust your body to eating like an asshole, and so I was just like,
that's what you had to learn as a 14.
yes, sir.
They should tell everybody before you get a
That's
meatball
your-
sub at Subway that you might vomit this back up.
Oh yeah.
Is anybody going to finish all this long
And
John
I-
Silver?
and
dare you,
Golden birthday, you just get to throw up.
well, no, this was after I got back, and I have to say, I used to love the meatball sub. I don't think I've had one since.
You spit them out like a tennis ball
think
machine.
that's it.
I gotta say,
That
Rivers
makes
vomiting up a meatball sub during a geostorm is my favorite part of the year 2000.
July 18th. This is Mr. Cow.
I find I sing this a lot when I'm unloading groceries.
Just imagining you unloading groceries to this is incredible.
Just like if you were
always feel
in a strip club and
deceptive
then someone
amount of
immediately starts going,
mystical.
shake your ass, like yell like that.
Oh, yeah.
Aggressively, people are like, okay,
Yeah.
we need a guy, check on the guy.
And
No, you yell, watch yourself.
yeah,
Show me what you're doing.
and Kyle, to our point about last segment, any guesses to who produced this?
The motherfucking Neptune.
It's the Neptunes.
cool. Oh, my
Yeah.
the little
Yeah.
clickety
Hear
little
it everywhere.
like that is
Oh, yeah.
definitely their style. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think right now in my head anyway, we're on like a 4-way race for who won 2000. We've got Eminem, we've got NSYNC, we've got Britney, And then we got the fucking Neptunes because they cover the damn yard with their production
Maybe
this
it's
year.
them, honestly, because that shit changed
It's
music forever.
Yeah,
Crazy.
they're the sleeper hit. I mean, like they were, didn't they like every hit on the radio at some point?
Yes.
In the year 2000 was a song made by them.
There's like
um,
6 on my list.
Do any
Yeah.
of you watch that like history of hip hop show?
Yeah, hell yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
I love it because they have the Not Pharrell guy is in it for the interviews.
Yes.
And it's my favorite thing where like one guy from a duo like makes sure to like say what the other guy probably would have said as well.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that show's awesome.
So,
Uh,
the interviews in that are so great because there's
So
periodically just like there's the one where the African Mabata keeps being greeted by people as they walk by and he greets them and then goes right back to the story.
Yeah.
So good. So good. Those things are so well made.
The pure beauty of this song is that the way the beat is laid out, there is no other dance than to just
Gyrate.
physically lift your ass in the air and move it around. That's
Yeah.
the only movement.
It's called cutting to the
Yeah.
chase.
It's crazy. I love it. It's so basic and it's simple and it's perfect and beautiful.
Yeah.
It's the inverse of the Whisper song,
Yeah.
which is the.
Hey, oh yeah.
Oh, something about my dick
Wait,
or
you
whatever.
Wait till you see my dick.
What an
Yeah.
amazing thing you could say in a pop song
great-
at that time.
The
Wait till you
censored
see my
version
dick.
was even better though because it would just say, "Wait till you see my." Oh, shoot.
I believe
That's
there's-
worse than saying a dick. I don't want to
I believe
my dick.
there's one part in that song too where he it sounds like he's robbing a bank during Shake Your Ass. He goes like,
Yeah.
"We're fucking around, be cool." Be cool. He says, "Be
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Don't fucking hit that button. Be cool.
Yeah.
Shake your ass though."
Keep shaking your ass.
There's a mystical song on a Galactic record that is just him talking about getting older.
Oh yeah. Yeah. That's
Talk slow, move fast.
Whoa.
that's from the corner to the block, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I wanna
and it's fucking so good because it's literally just parts like my back starts to hurt.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I want to
It's because you shake your ass too much.
Yeah, with amazing
what
crunchy
happened.
New Orleans horns
it's
happening behind it.
One of my favorite records.
Yeah, hell yeah.
I'm also just want to suggest a mystical song called "I'm on Fire," where he literally drops a cigarette on him. He's like, "Oh shit, I'm on fire! And he's like, I'm out the door. Where's the lake? Oh fuck, I'm in the wrong place. I thought I was at home. Oh fuck!" And the whole song is just like, "God damn, it's like a Tom Waits song or something." It's the craziest shit ever, and it has like a whole narrative payoff. Like it's fucking insane.
That's real.
Yes, I'm on fire. And he's like, "God damn!"
Yeah.
And he's like, "I thought I was gonna be all right, but I'm burning alive." It's incredible because it like the concept can't last. I mean, getting set on fire only lasts like 30 seconds.
Yeah,
or something.
sure.
So he's like got this
I don't know.
crazy narrative, like, and it's getting down to my boot now.
I was saying, like,
You're like, what?
Richard
Now I'm in
Richard
a
Pryor's on fire for like a whole 3. How long did he?
Somebody holding a CD boombox in front of Lorne Michaels. And he's like, "Look, I know it sounds crazy.
I'm on fire.
Now,
But what? It's the new millennium. We're looking for different voices."
now I'm in a critical burn unit.
It's seriously like,
Now my mother's coming to visit me, and she hopes I'll be okay, and I do too.
Right, yeah. He fell asleep with a cigarette in his mouth, or maybe it was a joint or something, and it's burning his house down, and he's also on
It'd
fire.
be better if it was just a cigarette, like just.
I think it is.
I at no point assumed it was a joint. My brain immediately.
I'm pretty sure it's a cigarette.
I imagine it was just like he was
Give it a
just
listen.
smoking a cigarette, pumping gas, and then all of a sudden kaflooey.
3 minutes of problem solving.
Fucking-
Oh, it's so good. Anyway.
July 23rd, Tiger Woods wins his first British Open and becomes the youngest person ever to win all 4 major tournaments, the U.S. Open, British Open, Masters, and PGA. The same day, nobody wins the second Tour de France. Nobody would continue to win the Tour de France every year until 2005. Nobody would also go on to win a bronze medal at the time trial event at the Sydney Olympic Games. And everything on the internet is so fucking annoying when it comes to Lance Armstrong.
Nobody's scene in dodgeball is so fucking good.
Dude, it's like I get that he's been discredited and that officially he didn't win anything, but keep that limited to the Tour de France website. When you go to Wikipedia and if you just like Control F Lance Armstrong, he's just not on the site. And I'm trying to like look up shit for this podcast, and I'm like,
the site.
it's fucking weird. They're just like he didn't, like he didn't exist, and you're like,
Damn.
Tell that to my Live Strong bracelet.
same. Yeah. I was
She took it off
helping.
before we came here, but she's still
Talk to the Livestrong bracelet.
July 25th, just after taking off from Charles de Gaulle Airport in Paris, the Concorde jet hits
Ooh, baby.
hits a piece of metal and crashes crashes into a hotel, killing all 109 people aboard and 4 people at the hotel. It was the only fatal crash of the Concorde's entire 27-year operational history, but it was retired 3 years later due to safety concerns.
Damn.
And so
And
now
we've had shitty planes ever since.
I'm fucking telling you, man.
Yeah, I always dreamed to ride on the Concorde.
Same.
Same. Yeah.
You probably
I
can
always
on
dream.
Spirit if you.
Yeah, the Spirit. Yeah, Spirit pulled it out of the
Probably
burning
got
hotel,
that. Yeah.
dusted it off, and now they're flying to Atlanta every day.
I just don't trust any flight that's like $50. I don't trust
It's
it.
They're like, we'll
actually
pay you to do
600.
Yeah. July 26th.
Just everything. It was like Burger King's new Dino Nuggets
Really?
or whatever.
And this is a great example of what becomes a TikTok thing.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
is a TikTok song.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Carter's exactly right.
Yeah, back
there
then,
is
take it serious.
nothing that didn't co-opt this for their commercial.
Yeah.
Not
No.
a single product. Every product on Earth.
Morris's Mortuary wants to let
Yeah.
the dogs out of your heart.
Philip Morris Tobacco wants to put the dog in your lungs.
There's an episode of The Simpsons where Marge gets Marge gets breast implants, and then she reveals them to distract someone at the end of the episode. And when it goes to credits, it's like Marge let her boobs out. The whole credits.
Even The
In the
Simpsons.
episode, it's fucking
Yeah, I would never again be able to let out my dogs without my father singing that song.
yeah. It's like,
That's a real before and after the internet moment where life's never the same
Never
again.
again.
Yeah.
Remember your dad in the time before.
Very similar to when I got the whooping cough, and every time I'd cough, he'd go whoop. There it is.
Oh, no.
Hilarious.
I do.
you're dying in a hospital.
Get this guy on the pod.
He's fucking good. He's real funny guy.
Frankly, can't believe you haven't killed him. That's amazing. The whoop, there it is.
It's-
incredible.
Yeah,
That is
he and
very
my
good.
mom would both do it.
Oh, no.
Like I have an ancient cough.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. I have a disease most people don't
They
get now.
vaccinate against this now.
Oh,
Were
my
you
God.
digging in a lot of potter's fields as a
Yeah.
child?
Much I agree, but I'm a survivor, and that's the thing. is
Much like
I've had a
Brittany.
lot,
This one guy was talking about how they do like a super dramatic orchestral version of like pop songs for like movie
For
trailers. now?
movies,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Our friend John was talking about how they should do a super orchestral version of this song, but to like the remake of Cujo.
Oh, this is why.
Listen,
So
I
That's why he's brilliant. Yeah.
I
Jordan
know
Peele's Cujo.
I know we have musicians that listen to the show. Please give me a slow piano dirge version of Who Let the Dogs
Yeah,
Out.
you know how happy the Baja Men would be?
Hell yeah. Oh yeah. But yeah, this
They have a Baja Blast.
yeah.
I get it from my dad.
Get it from a papa.
Oh no, I am him and he is me. In the United Kingdom, this song was quickly appropriated by Liverpool supporters under then manager Gerard Houllier. Regular chants of "Who Let the Reds Out" by Liverpool fans were followed soon by chants of "Who Had a Heart Attack," a reference to Houlier's illness in October 2001. So British soccer fans are the worst fans of anything in the world. And of course, so they were like, "Who let the dogs out?" Because our coach's name kind of sounds like "Who," and then the opposing team was like chanting back at him.
Who had
So,
a heart attack? You.
yeah,
You die right now. Do it. Fall down. Hooligans.
You're pointing at someone and die right
Do it now. We're hooligans, goddammit. We're banding together to make something happen. Now drop.
You're having a good time at the game, Tommy. We want him to die. We want him to fall over and die from a heart attack is what we want.
the craziest Christopher Nolan movie.
Who's going to have a heart attack? It's you. You.
I am become attacker of hearts. So the same day as the Baha Men's song drops, a U.S. district judge orders Napster to halt the trading of copyrighted music, essentially shutting them down.
On the day
Saving
of
the
the
Baja
release,
Men.
yeah.
But opening the way for Kazan
LimeWire.
LimeWire.
Right.
Or
baby.
fair share.
Hell
Soul
yeah.
Seek, baby.
Soul Seek. I still use Soul Seek to
Is it
this
really
day.
still
It's
Wow.
great. Yeah. So July 27th. So the next day, using a fake story of being founded in 1922 in Hollister, California, Hollister Company is founded in New Albany, Ohio by Abercrombie and Fitch.
Fucking liars.
So if you ever see anybody wearing a Hollister
How
shirt
dare
that says established 1922, bullshit. It's
All you have to do is get in a time machine and go to my high school and college.
yeah. Yeah. August 1st, just in time for back to school. Smuckers release Uncrustables.
Oh,
Dude. Okay. Have any of you had an Uncrustables in the last
Carter, I'm really
Yes.
glad you're also being defensive.
Yes.
No, they're actually so good.
They're
fucking
great.
good.
What a
Yeah.
great room. It's better than just about any sandwich I've
They're
had
the
somebody
best.
make. It's that soft chemical bread. It's that creamy peanut butter. I prefer grape.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
But you know what's great about the strawberry? It tastes exactly the same as the grape.
Yeah.
They're both
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
but I
think-
prefer purple.
I think we started during the pandemic.
You and me.
We started getting Uncrustables
I
for
think
the house.
I don't want to claim credit.
No, you did.
I
You did
think
it.
I got a box, and then the next time I went to the freezer, there was another box, and I was like,
Yeah.
"Oh, my man's on board."
Yeah, I think Carly was coming over and she was like, "I stole some of Rivers' Uncrustables," and then so we had to replace it. and-
yeah.
I think I've fucking
yeah.
never had an Uncrustable.
Oh,
I
I
have
should have
run
bought
so
a
many
box.
summer camps and after school programs.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's a gift to child service.
It's a string cheese and an Uncrustable. You can't.
I fuck with the string
beat it.
cheese, baby.
Can't fucking
String heads. That was the brand. No,
no.
Yeah.
Is that a real one? The guy
Yeah,
had the
it's
crazy
little
head?
stringy.
I love
Yeah.
a cartoon. He saw me on a cartoon.
It's Cheesehead, I believe.
Yeah.
Oh, Cheesehead.
Or if you're a wrestling fan, a man named String. But by the way, I found out there was a weird patent dispute because some other company was like, "Hey, we came up with the idea of smooshing the crust around the peanut butter
so
jelly
sad.
first," and the Supreme Court had to be like, "Yeah, you can't really patent squishing bread because that's all you did." Sorry.
I also don't even less than like Go-Gurt. I don't understand the utility of it. It's like because crusts are gross.
Yeah,
Like,
no.
I don't understand.
No, it's just manufacturing
Also,
thing.
that it can be frozen and then it's
Yes.
made to be
It's
thought by the time it's lunchtime
It's
at
lunchtime.
school.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Freeze
Time
it,
release.
Put
Yeah,
it in a
it absolutely
lunchbox
is.
in the morning. It's ready to eat by lunchtime.
Yeah.
Fucking crazy
And-
world.
and-
2000.
But
know.
don't let it sit past lunchtime. It will get quite soggy.
Yeah, it gets
Yeah, it gets soggy. I did my own research, and it's good to go after about 15 minutes if there's a worldwide pandemic and you have nothing to do that day.
I'm gonna
Did you
get
ever put
stoned
one
and
in
eat
a
whole box.
toaster?
I was about to ask the exact same
No.
thing.
It'll change your life.
Yeah.
Let's get a goddamn box meeting.
I've been waiting for like a hipster restaurant place to not do
Oh,
peanut
yeah.
butter and jelly things,
Oh,
but
yeah.
to specifically give me sandwich
Nostalgia-based.
ravioli, like crustless
They will.
layers. Like that
They'll
will
do
take
it.
my money.
August 5th, Alec Guinness dies of prostate and liver cancer at the age of 86. He hated Star Wars till the day he died.
Fucking A. Make that money and
I
go
was
to
not
bed.
in those Star Wars.
He hates it so much.
I
It's
won
the
Oscars
funniest
for
thing.
films. I'm in Bridge Over River.
Exactly.
He
I
hates it.
like this was me slumming it, you idiot.
I truthfully wish he was still alive just so I would be able to see more interviewers of people of him being like, yeah, Bridge Over River Kwai. What about New Hope? Though?
Yeah.
It's just got so
He's like,
many.
I worked for
all
like
of
1
them
week.
except for Mark Hamill
Can
are
you
just like
imagine how fucking quickly Disney would have had him killed?
Oh, yeah.
Like just suicided that old man just because like the moment they ask him a question, he's like, I just feel like everybody's being a little bit materialistic and crazy and turning it into some sort of weird future Christianity. They're like, he's blowing up our spot.
August 8th, the Confederate submarine CSS H.L. Hunley is raised to the surface after 136 years on the ocean floor off the coast of South Carolina. Basically, the inventor of the Hunley, who was named Hunley, said, hey, I invented this sub. If it was dangerous, would I go down in it? And
timely.
It's weird. There's no connection to the modern day with this at all.
Don't go down there.
Check out episode 203 with Dr. Ben Sawyer to hear all about that. August 18th, the original Kings of Comedy is released.
Oh, I love that
Oh,
shit.
The Kangs is-
Oh, my fucking. I
That
love
shit
that
is
shit.
great.
I will say
I had a VHS tape. I played it to death.
Same.
it was great. It's so funny.
It's so funny.
They
Steve
all
Harvey's
kill.
hilarious.
They all kill, dude. Like Cedric the Entertainer kills.
So good.
Bernie Mac.
Bernie
oh,
Mac.
yeah.
Bernie Mac is
Destroys it.
a force of nature in that fucking movie.
The whole concert. That,
He
that
was great
We
in it.
watched
They're all great
over
in
the
it.
pandemic.
Yeah,
like,
we watched
maybe
it.
twice.
I love
I've been
that
thinking
shit.
of watching
So
it.
good.
Like, it's
So
one of the
funny.
handful of like comedy special things that I've been thinking about, like going back and looking at.
Yeah.
It's also got like the Stop Making Sense thing where an auteur director directed it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
like,
So it's like
maybe,
it
yeah.
looks like a fucking movie. Like,
I have realizing possibly right now. I don't think I've ever seen it like front to back, beginning to
Oh, you
end
got it.
as
Oh,
an entirety.
man.
Like
It's
I've
great.
only ever seen it like on HBO in segments or on
Totally.
YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will say,
But it plays great both ways.
Oh, absolutely.
You know? Yeah,
That's
yeah.
I like think about it. And I'm like, oh shit! Like I should go sit down and do it.
when I started smoking a few years later, I would start smoking Cool Filter Kings. And I would, every time I pulled it out, every time I pulled it out of my
the
pocket in front
South.
of my friends, I go, the Kangs is here.
Oh, that's so good.
I used to do that.
I love it. He's like, "No, what's your name? We say dog.
Mm-hmm.
Heck, that's not. It was such a theory. He's like, I'm a grown man. You call me by my name. or whatever. No, Steve Harvey.
Yeah,
and
Steve
he's like,
Harvey.
the soul music. What happened to the good soul music?
Man.
They play that song. And
He
Steve
whips the
Harvey,
crowd into
he
a
just
fucking
dances
frenzy,
for
yeah.
like a minute. Like
Yeah.
it's so free and amazing how he hosts that show. Like I
Yeah.
know he's easy to shit on. Family Feud and blah blah blah.
This is a pro
But-
Steve Harvey space.
Yeah, but he was
Yeah.
a great comedian.
This was
And-
back when he
and
had the
has-
haircut that everyone came to know
Dude,
as
he
the
is
Steve
like-
Harvey.
Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah.
He is like the ultimate fucking player, and
it's the Steve Harvey that's being rapped about.
yeah, he's just
Yeah.
bitching
Yeah.
about young people not getting what old dudes were all about. He's like,
Yeah.
it's about the soul. And he's just dancing for like a minute. The audience just going, ah! And you're like, what an amazing fucking thing.
Oh, man.
It's
Yeah.
a great, I
Yeah.
love that.
It's awesome.
It's an awesome concert.
7 days later, August 25th, Bring It On is released.
Oh, that movie's actually great.
Fuck
yeah?
It's a
yeah.
fucking
Yeah.
classic.
American
All right.
institution.
Honestly, Seth loves Bring It
Yeah,
On.
I had it
too.
on a VHS
I mean,
tape. I used to play it to death and watch it all the time.
It's so great. And Gabrielle Union
Yeah.
apparently like really shifted the movie to be what it is. Where
Yeah.
It's like
Oh, yeah.
an incredible competition between them. And I think at first it wasn't as respectful of the character. And
Yeah.
she really just made it so
She
amazing. And it's so fun. And like a movie about cheerleaders should not be that incredible.
Yeah,
It
yeah, yeah.
shouldn't
Yeah,
Be
it's a
that
fun- it's a
beloved.
fun movie,
and
yeah.
Yeah.
and it
That-
I
holds
think
up
it
well.
culturally kind of like changes how society looks at cheerleaders.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Like,
Oh, it
you look at
became
media
a
in the
sport,
90s about
essentially.
it after that,
Yeah.
and it
Yeah.
fundamentally
Yeah.
I go into high school after that, and truly,
Yeah.
I the dynamic I have with cheerleaders is so different than what
Yeah.
anything, and it's
Oh, yeah.
so
Well,
much to
I-
that.
I was gonna-
How many sequels did it spawn?
Oh, God.
there's a few.
Well, they-
Countless.
and they-
video.
and they
Tons.
brought it back for
They were
stuff.
never-
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
No, I was gonna say like cheerleading had been a competition sport for years up until that point, but as far as like the general public awareness of
Yeah.
that fact, because
Yeah.
that was the
For
first
sure.
time I was a child, but that's the first time I was like, oh, this is like they're not just like out there having fun. This is a competition. This
Yeah.
is a sport, and a serious
and
sport
they
at
became
that.
the cheers that we would do at school.
Yeah,
Were the
yeah,
cheers
hell yeah.
from Bring It On.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I was friends with like a couple of cheerleaders in college, like high school cheerleaders, who the fuckedest sports injuries I
Oh,
have ever
yeah.
had
God,
described to me
so much.
are all cheerleader injuries.
Yep, hell yeah.
Bones
Yeah.
sticking
Yeah.
out of
Oh,
shit,
yeah.
things
Yeah.
collapsing that should not be collapsed.
They're just throwing up a
Like-
small girl and being like, hope these 3 other small girls catch
Yeah.
her. Like,
Bananas.
It's
like
it's essentially professional wrestling.
Yeah,
Like it's that
it
same level
truly
of
jagged
is.
physicality.
Crazy.
truly like something we're cement mixer bodies by
Yeah.
the time they
Oh,
are
yeah.
college freshmen.
August 29th, we got 2 big singles dropping this day. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'll cue this one right up to Carter.
Let's get the dance together.
Oh man.
See, is this the I Tried So
Damn
Hard
it.
song?
I
is.
still like
Oh, this is-
specific.
This guy's
song.
rapping is fucking hilarious.
Not in
Oh, yeah.
this song.
Are you talking about Mike Shinoda's?
Oh, he's like,
yeah.
"Shinoda's
Shinoda's
not
not heavy on this song, though, is he?
Flip backwards, design.
Not the song you're thinking of.
That's not the right song. I designed this rhyme to explain in due
Fucking
time. It's all I
school
know.
Seth,
That
please.
version, no.
Is that really?
That's a different song, though. This is talking about being one step closer to the edge, and you're about to break.
Oh,
Yeah.
right. This is, I understand this kind of stuff.
Yeah. So this is the first.
I remember thinking like, because the
Wait
guitar
for
player
it.
had headphones like we all have on right now, and I was like, this band is futuristic as fuck.
This is like Johnny Mnemonic kind
Yeah.
of futuristic.
So this is the first single off of their
chorus.
debut album.
I mean, give the millennials their moment.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
So
You know what? Also, this album being reevaluated like all the
Pretty
other
good.
new metal albums.
Yeah. Now that there's no music and just AI. It's like,
It does sound like
was pretty
AI
good.
created like a emotional angry rock band.
Yeah.
But this record, I listened to it all the way through not too long ago.
I bet you did.
An embarrassing little amount of time ago.
yeah.
Okay, so this record went 11 times platinum.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, it was the biggest record of the
They're
year.
the
This
best-selling
is-
American rock band of all time.
Yeah.
The next thing coming out of my
God
mouth.
Because here's I love it. They fucking stomp down U2.
Yeah.
They stomp down fucking Led Zeppelin
Tears for
and all
Fears.
these classic rock things. The fucking Police.
Yeah.
Who's at the top? The angsty fucking weird
Yeah.
kids with goofy ass hair who do anime music videos.
Yeah.
That's
capitalize on
why
anger.
it's so
Yeah.
good.
Well,
Oh,
He had
yeah.
to kill himself.
So let me say the reason that it became big is because they shut down Napster and the kids didn't know how to steal music yet, so everyone had to buy this CD.
that's hilarious. I've never thought about that part.
That's
yeah,
very
yeah.
smart.
Holy shit.
You know, I was 14 at this
Wow,
point.
so it was definitely coincidental.
I was 14 at this point. I was a big boy, and I was like, "Fuck this! I hate
This is
this.
the
I,
last
Really?
I hate
mainstream
this
record I
band."
get.
I think this was
Yeah.
like the last vestige of like, I don't know, know if I like new metal anymore.
I was done.
You
I
saw
was
Jada Pinkett Smith's band on David Letterman.
You leave Wicked Wisdom out of this.
Wicked Wisdom, yeah.
That is one of the most hilarious clips of all
Also,
time.
like maybe one of the most brought up bands in the
should do
history
that.
of podcasts.
Yeah, and so I flirted with new metal briefly in the late '90s. Limp Bizkit, Korn. When 2000 hit, I was 14. I was a man, and this was bullshit.
Yeah.
This is like a skidoo or whatever, like riding the waves on the jet ski.
Oh yeah,
That's the kind of rock.
Skidoo. Yeah.
23 Street Skidoo. I mean, like, all right,
Skidoo.
I'll say this: they were the most like maligned new metal band.
Yeah.
because they were at the end of it, and then everyone
Tried
was just
so
like,
hard is so easy to make fun of.
yeah, it's
But
easy,
it's so
but-
fun to
'cause
sing.
There's like,
Yeah, exactly.
I shit you not. I was in a car once with my girlfriend and her friend, and that song came on, and her friend non-ironically just said out loud, I put that song on when I want to make my parents mad.
but they were they didn't curse. I remember that was the whole thing. Like
They said shut up though.
They said shut up, and shut up, and I don't think they maybe said ass one time.
Oh, no.
But they were the new metal band that didn't curse. So I think that they were like,
Are they like
Wow.
crypto Christians? Is that the
No.
thing?
not even.
They're
Like,
just
it could
crazy
be.
smart.
Okay.
They were just like,
Mike Shinoda could be president
Mike
at some point.
Shinoda.
yeah. I mean,
he should do that instead of music.
I mean, he's a great
Shinoda is a
MC.
pretty
He's one
fucking
of the
cool
greatest
sentence.
MCs
Well,
to ever
let's not
rock
shit
the
on
mic.
future President Shinoda.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I know. I'm not. I at this late stage in life, I try not to yuck in other people's yum. But I would be lying if I had said I had any affection for this fucking band. But
Yeah.
on the
Yeah.
on the exact same fucking day, a band that I have nothing but the utmost respect for, one of my favorite musical artists to ever exist, drops this gem on the same exact fucking day. 2, 3, fucking
Yeah, this record's amazing.
yeah, it's still great.
President Shinoda makes this the national anthem. We'll understand that we're getting
Dude, yeah, fuck Francis
incredible-
Scott Key.
This is
Yeah.
the fucking. Like, if I'm high enough, I will argue that this is the best thing America's.
I
ever
think it's
produced
the best
artistically.
song.
Pretty great.
Just
I
period.
would
It's
agree
a tough
with you.
argument. Yeah, I mean, it's perfect. The
In
video's
every way.
great. We actually on the a couple weeks ago were talking about album closing tracks, and I talked about how Chonky Fire, which ends Aquemini, sets this record up perfectly in a way that, like, it's weird that they could have even pre-planned that, but it's like we're gonna end Aquemini with like a pretty fire hard rock kind of sound, and then we're just gonna do some like Rage Against the Machine type shit with our next record. And this is one of those similar to Country Grammar. When this dropped, every open window of every car in Auburn,
Yeah.
Alabama was playing this song, and
Well,
it's football season too, so this is
Yeah,
tailgates.
well, it's like Miss Jackson's just that's like a song that everyone knows every lyric to.
Yeah.
It was just
Yeah.
that much of a ubiquitous song.
Yeah,
And this is, incredible record.
yeah, Stankonia.
I
This-
think Aquemini and
you're
AT Aliens are better, but
Yeah, no, that's fine.
That's because
It's a
of
little less
like,
produced, but
Yeah.
the rhymes are pretty fucking great on those records.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
The songs
Yeah,
are the songwriting's strong.
Have you ever noticed though that
Oh, it's
Stankonia is Stankonia and the tracks on it are the tracks from Stankonia? Though?
Yeah.
Please review before you
I have
make any
noticed
final
that.
decision.
I
It's something
mean,
like with them, they're so iconic that I never think about what year or time period.
Yeah,
'cause
it's-
yeah,
it's
they're timeless.
Totally their own fucking
yeah.
thing. Like,
I mean,
mission accomplished.
and this album also, first of all, it comes out on Halloween, so this is when the single
Fucking
dropped.
every part of them's cool. Oh, then
Yeah.
we skipped one of my records then.
Oh well, no, but we're still in August.
Okay,
This is the
perfect.
single.
Okay.
This
Oh,
one, the
gotcha.
single
Okay,
drops.
cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the record drops on Halloween, and also contains the ultimate song to listen to while you're getting out of the shower. So fresh, so clean.
so fresh, so clean. I mean,
That was
man.
my high school slogan.
Yeah, fucking
Like our graduating class.
Oh, was it
So
really?
fresh, so
That's rad.
clean.
dude.
do you like the song "I'll Call Before I Come" with Gangsta Boo in it?
yeah, I do.
That song
It-
rules, dude.
Yeah, I like every song on there.
Gasoline Dreams, the dude
Gasoline
from
Dreams.
Goody Mobs in it.
Gasoline Dreams is a real regular on my like Apple Music playlist.
Oh yeah. To hear more of my thoughts on Stankonia, I talked about it for damn near 3 hours with my friends Jim Search and Neil Charles over on the classic hip hop podcast Swatches and Boom Boxes.
really?
Yeah, during 2020, they're like, "Do you want to talk about Stankonia?" I was like, "It's 2020, baby. How long you got?"
Yo, you should send me that. I will legitimately listen to that.
We'll put it
I
up
will-
on.
as long as you're prepared to get too many text messages from a
You
thing
should
you
play
did 3
that.
years ago.
Yeah, you should play it in the background while you do the rest of the podcast.
Yeah.
Just see what happens.
Yeah, I'll and shout out to Jim Search in Binghamton. We'll throw that up on our Twitter so people can see it if they're interested. September 1st, Nokia releases the 3310, which is
My first cell
Oh,
phone.
yeah.
everybody's first cell phone. one. We'll throw
Had
that
Snake
up.
on it. Yeah.
Had Snake.
Oh yeah,
Bowling.
I
bowling.
programmed it to play My Beloved Monster from the Eels in Composer.
Oh wow. Oh shit.
I found it out. There was a website where you could program stuff. I had a ton of friends in time.
September 5th, we get a little single that y'all might know.
Partner.
On rolling, baby. This is Limp Bizkit. This is
So the first single off of Chocolate Starfish
rolling?
I would
and the
also
hot dog
argue
flavored water.
This is the end of Limp Bizkit.
yeah. No, moreover, this is the end of nu metal. Like, this is the end of that
Absolutely.
entire
This
genre.
This
album.
comes out, the Strokes exist, it's gone.
Yeah, it's
all
done.
over.
Yeah.
Let me ask if any of you guys know it. Wasn't there a remix of the song with DMX
Yes.
on it?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes, there
so
was.
there.
It's, I believe that's for the Fast and the Furious or Too
No.
Fast and Furious.
No,
Biker Boys or some shit.
No, that's
Everyone's wrong.
Metallica and
Nope.
Ja Rule.
Everybody,
That's the most hilarious
everybody,
thing ever.
everybody is wrong. There are two versions of this song on Chocolate Starfish. You are currently listening to the Air Raid vehicle
Biscuit is right.
The album is called Chocolate Starfish.
and the hot dog flavored water.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
so clever.
Assholes and cum is what
Yeah,
they were
isn't
saying. Yeah.
Clever and
I
smart.
was like so young that I was like, Fred Durst is so mean to women.
You were right.
And
You're
I
correct,
was like, I don't like anything he does.
I mean,
and I
the
pretty much buy that.
the eyes of a
Everyone
child.
agrees.
Yeah, you're right.
we all on that page.
I
Yeah.
remember the first song on that album where he's like, fuck you to everyone who pisses him off. And
Yeah,
he
yeah.
says fuck like 1,000 times in
Oh.
it.
Yeah.
And I remember being like, this is the coolest shit
Yeah.
I've ever heard in my life.
Get away from me, Mom.
Yeah.
So, Seth, what you're thinking of is the Urban Assault Vehicle, which is the rap version
Maybe you
of.
shouldn't
So
say
there's
Urban
that's what it's called, and that's the one that's got I think Method Man on there and a
I think
couple other
Method-
guys.
yeah.
Yeah.
Method Man was kind of hanging. He was an In Together now. He was
Because
like,
I tried to listen to some of that, and I remember being like, I fucking
Les Claypool rolled around this crew too. You got to remember, there's
Yeah.
a lot of people who stayed relevant who
Yeah.
just sort of pretend they weren't around.
So, well,
Totally.
Claypool was the previous album, Significant Other.
Yeah.
By this point, Fred Durst had come in, produced Anti-Pop. It kind of didn't do anything. Primus was sort of dormant at this point, but
and instead
yeah.
he produces the Stain record.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, we got Stain coming in hard and
Oh, yeah.
it's coming in like a unforeseen airliner into a building in 2001.
wait, Rivers.
breaking the cycle as we.
oh shit. Oh my goodness.
So here's the deal.
Dr.
9/11 whistle.
Demento of Fiddleberry.
Every time we bring up 9/11 looming in the future, we have to use the slide
Yeah.
whistle.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Whoopsies.
Yeah.
And then- What was the one we didn't? We only had to use the train once.
Oh, it was if Monica was mad.
Yes, if
Yeah.
Monica got mad, we used the
Okay.
train.
She
And
blew the
only
train.
got mad once.
Yeah. So September 7th, 2000, the 17th MTV Video Music Awards takes place, hosted by Sean and Marlon Wayans. NSYNC performs their single Bye Bye Bye. Britney Spears does Oops, I Did It Again. Eminem performs The Real Slim Shady
remember that
amidst an
part.
army of lookalikes. Also, most notably, Rage Against the Machine's bassist Tim Comerford is
Yeah.
arrested when
Oh,
he
yeah.
climbs
that
up on
thing,
the
yeah.
tower during the Limp Bizkit
loses.
accepting.
To 2001.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember it was a big deal in the Glasscock household.
Oh, yeah.
Was it your mother and
The
father were
Britney
talking
Spears
about?
Well, it was me and my brother Frank were
Yeah.
like, man, that's weird but cool.
Yeah.
Exactly right.
Britney Spears wore a nude
Yes.
bodysuit with rhinestones that accented her genitalia.
Oh, I remember.
That's right.
It's
I've been
not like
my genitalia for years.
I don't want to skirt by that.
Like you shave your pubes into an umlaut.
He's vajazzled.
marks.
He's always vajazzled.
yeah.
I
I just think you got to make it special.
he shaved a semicolon into his taint.
That Eminem performance is one where they have all the dudes who look like Eminem,
Yep.
and
Yeah.
a year later
Yeah.
that would just be what my town looks like.
Yes.
Well done. Well done.
September 10th, Andrew Lloyd Webber's musical Cats closes on Broadway after 7,485 performances, 7 Tony Awards, and a Grammy, and no one ever actually saw it until the movie came out. And then
goat.
people were rightfully horrified.
Remember when we saw it
was about to
fucking
say.
stone fucking
Yes.
sober?
Check
Yes.
it out on the
We-
Patreon.
That's the most I feel like
Important.
Carter and I have ever
Yeah.
just like bled into our own palms.
Yeah. When me, Kyle, and Rivers went and saw it in the middle of the day, sober as judges.
Weeks from COVID happening.
Oh yeah, like this was the last thing we did.
No, we
in
saw
We saw Call of the
Bullshit,
Wild.
We saw Call of the Wild after this.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I that was it was every bit as horrifying and as funny as we thought it was.
Oh, yeah.
I'd see it again. I'll be
I would
honest.
too.
I've been having a
But-
craving.
Well, the thing that was about it was boring. It was fucking boring. Like once you get past like the funny like slinky sex cat thing, then
Okay,
it's
yeah.
like
You got over it, I see.
I did, yeah. Towards the end, it gets boring, but I had fun with you guys.
Yeah.
So I haven't thought about
Memories,
Rumble teaser every single day since we saw the movie.
So that same day, the 52nd Emmy Awards takes place. We got Gandolfini taking home Best Actor.
Oh, yeah.
We got West Wing taking home 8 awards.
A show
which,
I forget exists.
Yeah, a show that probably ruined the world. And
Seen the first season.
it's a record that would go unbeaten until Game of Thrones beat it in
Rob
2015.
Loback,
Yeah. So September 12th, 2000, we get another just a banger out of the ATL.
Yeah. Give it to me now. Give it to me now. Give it to me
So
now.
a few weeks ago, I was present for Ludacris getting his star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
Oh shit, that's awesome.
Cool. I wanted to go to that.
I was with the tour group,
that rules.
and we were like, "Hey, do you guys want to see this?" And fortunately, they were like, "Fuck yeah!" They were huge
Awesome.
Fast and Furious fans, and I was like,
dope.
I lived an hour and a half from Atlanta. This was my guy, Ludacris and Outkast. These were my guys.
I saw
funny, man.
Ludacris when I was 14 years old.
Oh hell yeah! Where?
Yeah.
at?
Yeah, this is hilarious.
Jubilee Jam in Jackson, Mississippi. It used to be
Yeah.
like a small music festival.
Oh,
that we would
cool.
have. And there were women on stage. They were just pulling women up, and they were flashing their titties.
Fuck yeah!
And the security guard was like, "Come on, you want to get on stage?" And
Yeah.
I said, "I'm 14." And he said,
Get back! Yeah.
Ludacris kicked her in the face.
What a regret I have.
Pushed you away with a broom handle.
So
A massive regret. Just
So
Never in my life.
our college Auburn, our musical acts were always roundly either irrelevant or terrible.
That's because
Yeah.
they're college acts.
Right, yeah. So it'd be like Sister Hazel and shit like that.
Sister Hazel, yes.
So 1 year they get Ludacris to come. It's like 2006. Like he's still huge.
pretty big
probably
yeah.
making the Jubilee Jam round.
Probably around the same
Popped
time.
into Auburn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Is that around like Move? Like
Oh,
when
yeah,
that song
maybe.
came out?
It's
So
around.
when he's
yeah.
huge, yeah.
Yeah, I mean he's huge, right?
I think some
And
of it is
so-
like we forget Too Fast, Too Furious initially did not have the same warm reception.
Right. So he comes to campus, and they should have just put him in the arena where they play basketball, where they could fit a bunch of people.
Yeah.
It is like mid-November. We're like 3 days out from Thanksgiving, and for some reason they have him outside at the track. So it's freezing fucking cold, and there's thousands and thousands of people there because it's fucking Ludacris, and he's huge.
Yeah.
And he comes out, and I'll never forget, he comes out in a white sweatsuit, and he has white Louis Vuitton mittens. And he proceeds to do the entire show wearing white Louis V mittens. And I'm like, he's Christ.
master.
I will follow this man anywhere. Like he is. Lead
Tell
me.
me how to be.
Tell me how to be, Ludacris. What's my fantasy? Hang out with Ludacris for 5 minutes.
I
Be
listen
worthy.
to that song. Like I guarantee it's on my Spotify top 100 at the end of every year.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I love that song.
He has like he's like declarative like Chuck D, but about like having fun.
And he's so about the jokes and punchlines and stuff, which
Yeah.
some people could criticize him for, I suppose, because
He's so funny.
No, but he
it's-
knows it.
But he's a great
Yeah.
writer of those kinds of lyrics.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
And his
hilarious
inflections
lyrics.
are so funny.
Yeah.
when
What's
he's
that song that I really like? Oh, Cry Babies Go Home. Listen to that song, and he's like, "You're sitting at home."
Cry babies
what is it?
go
He's like
home.
eating your boogers and flicking them. It's so
mean-
fucking funny. He's like, I'm trying to think. That song is full of some of the funniest lyrics ever.
So yeah, that's Ludacris. The same day, we get whatever this is. I have never heard of this. And-
Wait. Play track 3, and you'll know.
Yeah,
Okay.
track 3 is you'll know. Yeah.
All right.
This is one of my top
You'll know.
favorites. After
You don't know this?
Driving,
You know After Driving?
Relationship of Command, baby.
Oh my god.
Literally one of my 5 favorite albums. Put it in my fucking coffin.
This was the first.
Changed my life.
This is the first indie rock record that I listened to. Like absolutely.
This
the first one.
Surfer Rosa,
Is this
Goo from
indie?
Sonic Youth. Yes.
This is it's the dude from Mars Volta. It's and then Sparta. Like
Yeah,
that's.
I mean, it's not.
This
necessarily-
sounds like
it's not
bullshit.
anyway.
This is so.
Oh, we don't think it's indie rock?
Oh, no. I mean,
Oh, come
I'm not
on.
saying that this doesn't
Seth,
come
I'll
from an
fucking fight you in the
independent.
park.
This sounds like the Arctic
But there's a lot
Monkeys.
of you can put
Yeah,
indie rock in a lot
Yeah.
of camps based on
Well,
like
I would.
decades.
Well, I would
say
put this also across.
People
like,
might put this in there, but
This
Modest
sounds like
Mouse, Built to
Jet.
Spill,
Oh, you gonna be my
that's
girl?
to me.
I would say.
I used to love that song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I used to like it when it came out at Subway.
That's who that was.
So-
yeah. Jet.
the Carter, I'll tell you the story then.
Sure,
I'll throw
sure.
it in. It's so I went to the Coachella this was at. I keep turning this into a bit, but the same year, it was the Tupac hologram year.
Oh my God.
Oh,
And
yes.
at the drive-in
Amazing.
is what they played before the Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg hologram set. Now, I have been there all weekend, and it was I was there because it was at the drive-in, Jeff Mangum doing Neutral Milk Hotel songs, and the fucking Refused. It's like three big fucking deals for me all at one thing. But
For
at
sure.
the drive-in's like number one. And it is funny walking around because everybody who is there for at the drive-in has one combination of an afro, a beard, or glasses. Some combination of those three. So I'm clocking people, and there's guys from Australia who came from Texas. The world, just the same collection of fucking dorky-looking dudes and girls with A-line haircuts.
Who is this?
At the drive-in.
Yeah,
this
who-
band
That's the
playing.
band is called At the Drive-In.
Drive-In, yeah.
What is the song?
It's called One Arm Scissor.
It's so I think I figured out what it is none of you dealt with emo music.
No,
Yeah,
not really.
that's what it is.
That's
I
what
was
it is.
staunchly
Not at all.
anti-emo.
Let's call it emo. That's about where
that
we're
was
at.
exactly-
This is directly influenced from
Yes,
Fugazi.
this is the band that
post-hardcore.
opened for Fugazi.
But this is like way more hyper than
Yes.
like that's what I don't really like that kind of.
You're not an aggressive music guy.
Not really.
I
I really love the Minutemen and things like that, but
That's
it's tongue in
not
cheek.
aggressive.
But I'd say
It's fast.
The guitar is pretty nasty and loud. And, well, I mean,
I
when he's
like him when
soloing
I'm
and
not,
things.
yeah.
But I mean, it sounds like a fucking buzzsaw. But I would say to me, it's rooted in the humanity more than it's rooted in
to
the
explain
theatrics.
like what this is, this comes out of Texas. This is from a band from El Paso,
Yeah.
Texas. They are mixing like Mexican magic realism, psychedelic Pink Floyd guitar, and like Fugazi jammy hardcore.
River
they
says
all are. They all like got super aggressive about refusing to dress like white guys in indie rock bands, so they all grew big fucking afros.
Oh, that's cool.
And got super like full Mexican out. Half their record is in fucking Spanish.
I'm
like,
learning
they-
from watching everyone's visceral reaction to this.
This is crazy.
Is that it's just like this was like the year in a lot of our developments where we like
Well,
started
split off.
we started making our own taste.
Yeah.
So people were like I mean this it came out 23 years ago. People were like I don't accept this as good.
Yeah,
It's like they look.
and it's literally like I will die for this record.
I think if you were
This
more
is
into
a
like
band that like matters.
I never liked the like.
Well, but that's what this took you in another
Like,
direction. That this is where that kind
Yeah.
of stuff
Yeah.
splits into
Yeah.
two different things, and there's like the girlfriend stuff and the like weird stuff.
Yeah. I would say this. Yeah, this is like if you're like when,
You
with
get
like
into this-
punk and emo. Then
If
this
you
is
like this,
for
you
sure
will
that.
also
Yeah.
get
Yeah.
into the yeahs instead of getting into Taking Back Sunday.
See,
Like,
Okay,
River
well, I see
that's,
the
that's like
I
instead-
see the split,
yeah. Instead
the
of Blink
divide there.
182, you go for the Hives. Like that. That is like
Yeah.
the flip to it.
Rivers is incredulous.
Rivers like, not on my
shaking his head.
podcast.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Let's cut it off.
Rivers is like, let me tell you about 17 guitar players writing about the American
Did we
South.
cover Drugs Cowboy?
we hit American Badass already. Yeah.
We're going towards bad music.
Yeah.
Carter, I'm really glad we shared this moment.
I know,
realizing
I
that we
know.
were in a smaller group than we
Massive
I'm
cultural
so
impact,
sorry to
for
have
sure.
disappointed.
I remember all my friends I listened to Limp Bizkit with showed me at the drive-in, and they're like, "This is like this shit is like so weird." So it was like my like.
That's how
intro
I've
that
been able
kind
to
of
talk to my brother's fucking musician friends.
Uh-huh.
Because like I didn't do a ton of the new metal, but we all like at the drive-in, and it's literally like it's the thing that keeps me young with musicians is like, hey, we all like the Afro guys.
Every time you say it, it makes me think of that song "Talk Dirty to Me."
Which
that
is
what
a great
that song's
song.
called?
Yeah.
It's like
at the
drive-in. Yeah.
I don't know that.
What's interesting because people
We're
who
in all
like
these weird pockets where it's just like I'm out of it.
I was smoking
Talk
weed and listening to
dirty
Up
to
Records,
me.
Matador, and Touch and Go, basically. And I was just alternating those three things, really.
But I'll say this: people who like at the drive-in also like the Shins and Modest Mouse
Yeah.
and shit. But
Yeah.
people who just like Modest Mouse and Shins hate at the drive-in.
See, but I love Modest Mouse, but I hate the Shins. Like, I don't like the Shins at all, and I hate their collaboration.
Oh, in Ruined World? Oh, come on.
on that last record, that sucks. But
By the way, the same day as all of that, MTV Cribs premieres.
fuck! Wow.
yeah.
I was
Sep-
stoned watching a lot of that.
September 12th. So the first episode features Jewel. It also
Yes.
features the Osbournes. So
Yes.
it is
Oh,
essentially
that's where it's a backdoor
a
pilot.
perfect-
becomes a
Yeah.
backdoor pilot. It also features the apartment of Moby. And
I love that one. He's so weird, and he has a little duck and Homer Simpson.
Well, so at the
You want a little donut?
so at the end of the episode, he takes the camera crew up to his roof and reveals that he has an absolutely stunning view of the Twin Towers. He lives right underneath the Twin Towers in that
Maybe
show.
he did 9/11.
He can get stomped by Obi. We'll see if he can get into hardcore Wahhabism.
My favorite episode of Cribs was when they did Tommy Lee.
Oh, yeah. It's like, I have a Starbucks in my house.
Me and my brother endlessly quoted it because at the beginning of the episode, he goes, "Welcome to Tommyland."
Yes.
MTV Cribs. Come on. Welcome to Tommyland. Let's roll.
The way you said that did something to me.
I know. I was ready to fuck.
Second act is Tommy
I remember
Lee.
playing SimCity with my brother, and we were like trying to like make Tommyland.
Oh my God.
Welcome to Tommyland. And, like, I remember being like the
Beautiful.
douchiest thing we'd ever
Were you a
heard
big
up to that
Methods
point.
of Mayhem kid?
Get naked. That was a few years later.
On my
yeah.
list of songs of adults wrote this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't believe it.
Oh, yeah. September 15th, we get the beginning of the Sydney Olympics.
And Seth's birthday.
And it's Seth's
Oh,
birthday.
yeah, it was my goddamn birthday. I was in the Sydney Olympics.
I remember
They
it.
were like, at 39, he's the oldest Olympian here.
I was fucking jumping real far. They gave me fucking medals for it. I jumped so
Smoking weed,
goddamn
jumping
far.
real far.
I jumped so fucking far, they gave me a medal.
So the United States took home the most medals with 93, but more importantly, this
you.
is one of the most high-profile posterizations in history. Toronto Raptors player Vince Carter jumps over 7'2" Frederick Weiss, who is from France and played for the Knicks, and in a move that is still known in France as Le Dunk de la Mort, the dunk of death. He jumps
cool.
over a 7-foot tall guy. His balls sail directly over the bridge of his nose and dunks the fucking ball.
The
and you're
dream.
just
Every person.
And that guy died. And then he
amazing.
died.
Everyone wants to do that to your math teacher.
Yeah,
or
well,
something.
so what
I
did
just
you
wanna
what did you
dunk.
just say, Seth? What was your little joke there?
I said, and then the man died?
yeah, so that's my thought too. I was like, man, if that happened to me, I'd try to kill myself. It turns
Yeah.
out he did try to
He
kill
got
himself.
dunked on so
And
hard.
is that why
that
they
he
call it the
killed
dunk
himself?
of death?
No, he didn't succeed, and he's fine now, and
thank
he's
God.
like in France doing
Just
something.
Well-
killed French basketball.
Because
European
imagine
basketball
as
until
a
Pau Gasol.
7'2"
See,
man,
that's another. That's another shot that he didn't.
Yeah,
you would be like, nobody
I'm trying
will
to say.
ever jump over me.
Yeah.
Because I'm 7
Yeah.
foot. I'm over
let
7
him
foot
try.
tall.
We'll put the footage on the Twitter. When you see it,
Oh,
he's
yeah, I wanna
like
see
he
it.
puts his arms down and it's just kind of like, is this guy about to? And then he just does.
like you wouldn't expect
Whoa.
it.
Yeah.
shit.
And by the way, Vince Carter played 22 seasons in the NBA. He is the longest tenured NBA player of all time. He retired in 2020 and started
Good
in
for
1999. So he played across
That-
4 different
Damn,
decades.
Carter.
It's crazy.
Yeah, and
you.
That's me. I did that.
yep. So
Cool. I was in the Olympics. Yeah, hell yeah.
You were in the Olympics. I played basketball.
Good 2000.
There's nothing I enjoy more than claiming something insane. Like, that's the funniest thing in the. I will periodically my whole life have turned to my brother when a song starts to play and just go, I wrote this.
Yeah, that's the best thing.
I turn to my brother when he gets into my car and I go, "Welcome to Tommyland." And he's like, "Damn, your car smells like shit." dude."
September 19th, and shout out to our friend at ArcLight. Wanted me to shout this out. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2 is released.
yeah,
Oh my
dude.
If you
God.
weren't going to bring this up,
Dude.
the only
That
thing
was
this year
2000?
that fucking matters.
I was about to say. I mean, we all have played the shit out of that game.
That was
So
that was like the
Can
video
you
game I probably
imagine
played
if
the
that
most.
remake had been bad in 2020?
I mean, I played the shit out of that. They couldn't fucking goof that up.
I can't
If it was
play
a
another video game
Oh
because
my
I
God.
just hit random keys.
Yeah.
And you hit the
I would be
manual,
like,
baby,
I
get that
fucking
manual.
rule at this game. and
Suddenly I'm
now
doing
any
the
other
Christ
game.
Air.
Yeah, dude.
Can't do it.
Yeah, like
Christ there.
I can grind for 2 miles like on my back, and somehow this is still a sports game.
Oh,
Yeah.
Like, oh, not just that. It is the highest rated sports game of all time.
Also,
It rules.
the best soundtrack
Yo, come
of
on,
any
full
game.
finger,
A
fucking-
generation-defining soundtrack.
Oh, yeah.
Incredible soundtrack.
So
yeah.
the game sold 5.3 million units.
That seems low to
cha-ching.
me.
It does.
September 22nd, Almost Famous is released.
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
Movies
Great movie.
changed my life.
Great
Fucking
movie.
incredible movie.
Your looks have become an issue.
Iconic lines. from
Yeah.
Carter.
Yeah.
Scott,
Such
you
an
should-
iconic.
Carter has a
movie.
podcast called Iconic
Yeah, it's
Lines.
just it immediately gets it immediately gets taken down because of copyright
Yeah.
infringement.
Well, so Almost Famous also gives us, as far as podcasting goes, lock the gates.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, of course.
Wow,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
hilarious.
Yeah.
Lock the gates on these fuckheads.
Yeah.
On
And I
these-
will say, as much as I love Mark Maron, which I do, he's not a very good actor.
I mean,
It's
who
evident
cares?
in that movie, in that scene, really clearly.
Well, now
Yeah.
listen to to him talk about the process on every
You've
episode.
heard him, Cameron Coe's quote, I believe, who says like we imported this kind of anger from New York.
Yeah, I was gonna say, the acting's not great. The anger reads as honest.
Nick Swartzen's single line in that movie fascinates me because he's the guy who screams, "It's Bowie."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Outside.
Because he got cut out.
Jay Baruchel's in it too.
Yeah,
Jay
he's out there with
and fucking Mark Kozelick from Red House Painters is the bassist.
Yes.
In the band.
That broke my brain.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Really?
So weird. It's like he didn't act in anything else
Nope.
except for
and
Almost
Jimmy
Famous.
Fallon is fucking phenomenal in that.
Jimmy Fallon's in it. Yeah, that's right.
so good
Maybe he
in
should have
it.
stuck to acting.
It's I do like
Okay, Jimmy.
that
Jimmy, I'm
movie is
kidding.
He hit the bottle.
Jimmy, I'm joking. Jimmy, please.
like that movie is messy, but I really do love it.
I
like
love
it's a
it.
very like
Fucking
just
awesome.
it's kind of like
Yeah.
Forrest Gump, where it's just like easy to watch and wash over you.
But totally imperfect, just like Forrest Gump.
Yeah, exactly.
What
Like
about the Untitled cut? You ever seen that?
I have
No.
very
Yeah.
recently. It's good.
Is it good? I watched it when
It's-
I bought the DVD, but I don't remember.
It's not
what
going to change anything.
Yeah.
It's just more. The bass player has a whole bit where he's
Yeah.
just not very articulate. So he keeps trying to interview him, and he's like, well, what do you do? He's like, I'm the bass player. And he's like, well, what do you think you bring to the band musically? He's like, the bass.
and they're just like, oh, Mark Kozlick's not a good actor.
Yeah, and then he
Whoops.
just wants to. He's just like stoned and wants to eat, and so like you have that whole plug, like just basically like everybody has more little plot.
Yeah, it's like
lines.
world building more than
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
good storytelling. It's just kind of like here's another 60s
Yeah.
moment.
I will say, even as a kid, everything that Kate Hudson said like made me cringe.
Yeah.
In the movie.
No.
That's
Yes.
the weird thing is like it's a movie
Yeah.
where the thing we are focused on is the least interesting aspect of the film.
Yeah.
See, as the
Poster.
girl in the room,
Yeah.
Right.
I'll staunchly disagree.
Oh,
And I was
okay.
like,
Beautiful. Okay. I love this.
Cannot look away. Obsessed with her. Love her. I'm gonna name my Zanga Penny Lane. Like, I can't
You
get
know
enough.
what? I retract.
And it was like
She does have the cool
coats
coat.
that she wears. Oh my god, incredible.
Yeah, so
I probably did cringe because I was a 13-year-old shithead boy who listened to Limp Bizkit.
That's
So
it,
probably,
yeah.
You know.
I think I may have been suffering from similar diseases.
Yeah,
to
you
her.
guys are at the drive-in.
Yeah, see, you guys
I'm
are
over
at the
there with
drive-in.
Penny
We're at the
Lane.
drive-in.
I was about to say,
Yeah.
I'm like
Kyle, have
actively.
you ever been shamed for liking at the drive-in before?
No, this is very
This is
new.
new. Yeah.
Okay.
Knowing about at the drive-in has largely led to me making out with people, regardless of gender.
Maybe that could still happen on this podcast.
you know, let's
Seth,
do it.
Yeah.
it's fine. Just ask.
Play the song and let's make
How many
out.
summers we gonna play?
Play this fucking song and let's get horny.
I was gonna say, let's play a real fucking song because on
Rivers hates something. He hates it so
yeah,
hard.
so I mean, it just anytime. Or listen, anytime there is a guy singing through a walkie-talkie, I hate it, and
And that's like my second favorite
I
genre.
like that. Yeah.
the Interpol, the Mr. Bright Sky,
I enjoy it.
whatever
I love
that,
Interpol.
the Killers,
Yeah, I
that
don't like
bullshit.
it.
God, I love
Right
Interpol.
side.
Love
Whatever.
Interpol.
I don't care.
play us a real song.
They supported fucking Mitt Romney.
Look,
Fuck the Killers.
This song you're about to play is one of the best songs ever.
Yeah, I was
so.
about to say.
The
yeah,
Killers
right.
supported Mitt Romney.
Yeah, they're Mormons. They're fucking Mormons.
Can't trust
Yeah,
anyone.
the point is September
What else we got?
29th, we get.
Yeah.
This is like a lot of songs that we've talked about. They have a music video that's attached to a movie, and the music video is way better than the fucking movie. And of course, that is
The movie's great.
Oh yeah.
right. Yeah. Now here's the song.
Is
Wait,
this Charlie's
we
Angels
we gotta
2
hear the
or
intro.
Charlie's Angels?
Question? Oh,
We
yeah.
gotta hear the.
Question.
Monty and Destiny, Charlie's Angels, come on.
Holly is coming alive over here right now.
This is Holly's whole fucking
Yeah.
thing.
Tell me what you think about me.
Yeah, I mean, look. So, real question, Holly: did this make you go watch the Charlie's Angels movie?
Here's the thing. I was 8 years old and I was like, I'm an independent woman. And
You can't tell me shit.
I was like,
I pay my own bills.
I did see the Charlie's Angels movie.
Yeah.
I did love it. I used
great.
to sing every word to this song, and my mom would be like, I bought it.
He's like, I bought it.
I bought it.
But yes, I would say this song far exceeds the film.
Yeah, we were talking earlier. This is the same thing as Aaliyah's song that she did for Romeo
Oh,
Must
yeah,
Die,
yeah.
Try Again.
I
which
would
is,
argue that the Charlie's Angels movies have more profile than Romeo Must Die.
Yeah,
I would
it's
agree
just
with
true.
that. Yeah.
McG, baby.
And they were very fun.
Yeah.
Like, I remember
That was a rewatch for both movies. Were a rewatch for me and my girlfriend during COVID.
Yeah.
I
Drew
also-
Barrymore's name is Helen Zass, which is hilarious.
Oh, it is pretty clever.
She's so good in those.
She's great. And I love Drew Barrymore.
Oh, yeah.
So much.
Another little DVD knowledge for you. The commentary track is Mick G on cocaine talking about how Cameron Diaz is hot for 2 hours. And he's like, the physicality, they're poised.
I miss-
It's like insane.
I'm
my
gonna have to
God.
give that a listen.
Oh, it rules.
I'm-
It's so fucking funny.
I miss commentary tracks
Same.
so much.
So much.
Yeah.
Dude, I will show you. I can give you an XML that you can drop in your podcast app that's like 300 commentaries.
Whoa,
And
Seth, I need
it's
this
over
so
1,000. Dude, I listen to the commentaries. I'll help you guys.
You just earned yourself that makeout session.
That's right. Now turn it up. Let's make out.
Let's put on Walkie Talkie Boy and
bought
fucking
it.
kiss.
Am I wrong in that was one of their first songs post new Destiny's Child members?
That song is still the 4.
Okay.
And then immediately after that, they lose one. And then, because Survivor was named that because of a joke that some morning radio show was like, Destiny's Child, they're firing everybody. It's like Survivor in there. And so they literally were like, fuck
That's how
you,
you do
here's
it.
Look
the
at us
biggest
make money
song
off
of all
that.
time.
Take
Yeah.
notes,
love it.
motherfuckers. That's how you do it.
Yeah.
Turn around on their ass. What up now? I bought it. I bought it. Maybe a little more melodic. No, it's fine. I bought it.
Yeah, hell yeah.
So good.
We gotta get Mystical a podcast.
I'm on fire. Shit. I fucked up. I made a mistake. Damn it. Great rapping.
You gotta make your acts 90% mystical now.
I'm going to come out, light
new
a
manager and
cigarette,
attorney, like-
drop it on me, and
It's
then
fun.
just
It's
start
like I
doing
get
it.
to date Mystical and
You do.
Seth.
I will. And I am kind of lighting myself on
He's kind
fire
of
all the time on accident.
Seth,
Kind of
Seth
Seth in the streets of Mystical in the sheets, you know?
That's right.
He's DMX in the streets, mystical in the
right.
sheets.
Yeah,
Don't
that's
get me
kinda
started.
how-
Don't
yeah.
even
I was gonna say he excels at doing rappers that yell.
October 1st, everything changes.
Oh, well, here we go.
yeah,
Well,
yeah.
this is from the 80s.
Eyes for the national anthem.
Yeah, I fucking love
Welcome to
it.
Jackass.
God damn it. Jackass is...
So,
I mean, what
yeah.
they made Mike Watt
It
a
is-
shitload of money.
Oh my god! I mean, look, it is.
And that's like a real Johnny Knoxville move.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And it's still their brand, you know?
I mean, we
Well,
talk
yeah,
about-
it's the biggest Minutemen song now, of course,
We-
because of this. But
We talk about Tony Hawk Pro Skater influencing people's
Yeah.
taste in music. Jackass, I feel,
Another
did
one.
just as much. 'cause-
I was gonna
100%.
say it reintroduced Minutemen to like a whole new
skate
generation.
videos, and I mean, that was
That's-
a-
Also, it is impossible to not at least giggle at Jackass.
Oh, yeah.
It
Oh,
doesn't matter
beautiful.
how old you are.
So
Like
I got a question for all of you.
So
How
funny.
long has it been since you've watched like the first season of Jackass?
the
at
TV.
all?
I watched
Wow.
it not that long ago, and it felt like home movie clips.
Yeah.
and it's so short. you're
was.
like,
So my girlfriend got into Jackass while we've been dating because she is at her core a 13-year-old boy in many ways.
There you go.
She wants to be Steve-O.
Yep.
But so like we have watched a fuckload of Jackass, and like watching that first season,
How fun.
it's so lo-fi. It's shot on DV.
It looks
I
crazy
cannot
bad.
believe that fucking aired on
Oh, yeah.
television.
Yeah.
Like
it looks bad.
the for all we give MTV shit, every once in a while they do something so fucking cool
Oh,
that
yeah.
like 20 years later, can you fathom any executive in this industry greenlighting
God.
anything that looks like that, even if it wasn't dangerous?
they'd be like, we have to reshoot this
Like,
pilot.
but yes,
Yeah.
it's
For
and,
sure.
and that is it was when you were a kid watching it. It's the coolest thing you'd
Yeah.
ever see.
Yeah. It was like
It was.
contraband,
It-
and I used to meet up at a friend's house because it'd be like, it's fucking
Yeah.
coming on. Like, it was like
Oh
contraband.
yeah,
My
we
dad
weren't allowed
loved
to
it.
watch it, but my mom's friend that used to babysit us had sons, and we would get to watch it with them.
Hell yeah.
And so we'd be like, "Oh, can we go to Miss Vanessa's house
good.
tonight? We want to watch Jackass."
Yeah.
Like it was, yeah, it changed everything.
October 3rd, Radiohead releases Kid A.
What do you think about Radiohead?
Fuck
Rivers?
them. They are
Oh,
garbage.
okay.
Everything they've ever done is garbage. The album
this
sucks.
is when this is when Rivers' taste like really crystallizes in the year 2000.
Yeah, so I was given the Radiohead Kid A CD by Tiger 95.9 because they
Whoa.
were broadcasting on the street along with some weird energy drink called KMX, and I took that CD and immediately threw it against a wall and let it smash into a
Whoa,
million
you
pieces.
even listen to it?
No,
You're like,
fuck
I'm not a
them.
kid. Number
Yeah,
one. Second of all,
The music is pretty good. I
This
did.
shit's
I,
an F. It's not an A, it's an F.
I think it was because I wanted some other CD, and they were like, "Oh, we gave away the last copy," and I was like, "Fuck this."
it's probably at the drive-in.
I am terrified to defend Kid A in this moment.
Oh,
it
no.
has been done
I
enough
think it's
on the
probably-
internet that I'm not going to do it.
Well, no, I only
yeah.
bring it up because again, I want to talk about a real fucking song that Kyle likes.
Jason Isbell's entire discography.
On the ground floor of fucking the real
Here we
human
go.
spirit.
All right.
Oh my God!
Yeah. So Kyle,
All right,
This is
ladies
the
and
hit.
gentlemen, let me talk to you about something.
Yeah.
It's a little thing I like to call Green Day erasure. So children gather around, let me tell you the Howard Zinn style secret history of Green Day. Because what they will tell you in the mainstream media is that Green Day makes an album called Dookie, and then America loves it. And then nothing happens until the year 2003. And they put out a song called American Idiot.
Yeah.
And then they're like, and then the band is a good band after that. That is a
My narrative.
patently untrue narrative.
Those three
Because
records in between those
three
are the best
records
three.
Are the
yeah.
best three Green Day records,
I agree.
and have a fuckload of singles on them. People just go, they just assume they're on American Idiot.
I agree.
Like,
Yeah.
Insomniac, Nimrod, and this one are the
Yeah,
best.
I
three.
knew
and
Nimrod
I
a
will
little
say,
bit.
so Insomniac has a song that I think has a weird historical importance that's very specific. It has a song called Brain Stew.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
Brain Stew is like the song that everybody learns on guitar. And then Nimrod is like a crazy platinum selling album that we have just memory hold out that has like 5 singles on it. And then this album comes out, has not only like this, but it has that song like what's it called? It sounds like Downtown. I've been staying a long time.
Yeah, Waiting.
Waiting, that's it. It's got a weird organ-led like Italian narrative song about like 2 lesbians
Yeah.
who steal heroin from a guy in San Francisco. There's just a lot of it. There's like a couple like just weird power pop songs that are real odd. Like, and it's weird to me because like they make these 3 really interesting artistic albums that are all massive successes, and then bury all of that and just sort of go into this weird bland thing that like didn't seem like they needed to do. That's the
Yeah.
thing that's always confounded me is like they make this choice to go this way. I'm like, everybody co-signed everything you did. Why did you need to become this?
I'll tell you, Green Day and U2 are the 2 lamest bands that I'll go to bat for.
Yeah, you make a Metallica fan
had
too.
a
You want to
strong
try to
case.
trifecta bands off
Yeah.
the list?
I mean, like, oh, I'm sorry. What were you saying, Holly?
No, I'd say you have a strong case. Like
mean-
they're a very successful.
Yeah,
respected-
yeah. It's. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's very like. I remember. I've loved Green Day for so long. I haven't listened to anything past American Idiot, but that's also there's like generations of people who like
totally.
different eras of that band.
It's the Weezer thing. Like,
Yeah, same
it's
thing.
fascinating.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
whole subsets of bands where it's like, oh, I am one strata of this.
I know I've said this on the podcast before, but one time, so I was at an Alabama football game with my brother, and the fucking band was playing Basket Case, and my brother went, "Dude, this is your favorite part of the whole fucking game." Frank has made more appearances on this podcast than anyone
And
else.
Frank
It
rules. I
was.
met Frank.
Oh,
And he
Frank's
rules.
awesome,
He's
yeah.
great.
Yeah, Frank
he doesn't
was
talk to regular
great.
people like that. Just his brother.
No, he's a very nice man. He's a very nice man.
He's awesome.
But yeah, I remember him saying it like it was such a like you like he fucking loved
And he's
Green
like,
Day.
well, here we go. The dumb shit that you
Yeah.
enjoy.
I too think if I showed him
nice.
at the drive-in, he would punch a mirror until blood went down his fucking hand.
I want to meet and party with Frank.
we got to get Frank on this fucking
Yeah,
podcast.
Frank rules.
I know.
Oh, dude.
Totally
Zoom him
great.
in.
Yeah,
He'd be like, "Nah, I'm good for real."
yeah. People like, talking. I don't want to just talk.
Yeah, he probably does not listen to podcasts. I would assume.
So October 12th, 2000, that little meeting we talked about in part 1 that happened in Malaysia, starts to make itself known. The USS Cole is suicide bombed by Al-Qaeda in Aden, Yemen. The blast kills 17 crew members and injured 39. And, that's the last time we'll ever hear from those guys.
Yeah. That's the way the cookie crumbles.
Point out this is the best idea we've
It really is.
had.
Every tragedy needs to be coupled with that.
Well, and also...
it's the elephant in the room loops over. So it's like we gotta nip this in the bud immediately.
Last time we'll see those guys. Al-Qaeda don't know about that.
Oh, well. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So 3 days later, very appropriately, Curb Your Enthusiasm premieres on
no
HBO. Yeah, so
I thought this was a well orchestrated 9/11
nope,
joke.
just perfect. Yeah, so Curb Your Enthusiasm has been running for 23 years, you guys.
Jesus.
This is fucking crazy to me.
I was a huge,
Yeah.
and I still am a huge Seinfeld fan of the TV show. And,
Oh, my best
and
sitcom
then-
ever.
So I saw randomly a second season episode of Curb Your Enthusiasm, and I was like, and it was like George, it was actually Jason Alexander playing, they're going to do a Seinfeld reboot or whatever. And I was like, is there a show about the guy who made Seinfeld?
Yeah.
And then I tracked, I would just tape them every time they came on. So I don't know anybody that watched it when the first season came.
No, well, so
it was not really.
I watched it for the first time.
promoted.
Shout out to my friend Maddie P. Had the DVD of the first season.
Oh, cool.
And we watched it the summer between senior year of high school and freshman year of college. And I was like, this is the greatest thing I've
It's
ever
pretty consistently
seen.
great from the beginning. The pants tit, where she's like, "There's something hard in your pants."
That's
like,
episode
"Are you
one.
Oh, yeah.
Fucking cock.
Yeah.
It's like the craziest shit in the world.
Yeah. Oh,
it's so funny.
the porno kill. Bob
Oh, my
Odenkirk
God.
telling the story.
The house that cum built. Yeah.
Yeah, my wife
so
lovingly
funny.
refers to this as the house that cum built.
I mean, Curb Your Enthusiasm is almost, in some ways, more approachable than Seinfeld. I hazard to say.
Yeah.
Depending on which angle you're looking at. The writing in Seinfeld is unbelievable and can't be touched.
I would say Seinfeld's a better show. I would say Seinfeld's a better
it's
show.
great.
But in terms of bringing someone into Larry David's sense of humor,
Sure.
I would say that Curb Your Enthusiasm is an easier sell.
It's basically I would
agree with that.
I always say Seinfeld is the stepped on dope.
Yeah.
And Curb is just straight uncut. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because Jerry Seinfeld has a sort of a neutralizing effect on the writing of Larry David. I feel because there's obviously George has that kind of darkness and stuff like that.
Yeah.
If George is your guy, Curb Your Enthusiasm is mainlining.
That's what I'm saying. It's like there's more variety to Seinfeld.
Yeah,
but that's what makes it more of a fuller bodied experience. I guess
Seinfeld has something for everybody. Curb Your Enthusiasm is just
pure
this is
undiluted neuroticism. Yeah.
very specific kind of person. But man, and it's me. I wanted to mention the episode The Wire where they have to ask the neighbor to bury a power line in their backyard, and the neighbor will only do it if he can meet Julia Louis-Dreyfus.
Oh yeah.
And she shows up and she's
great.
furious at Larry and kind of yells at the guy and then leaves. And he goes, "Well, you met Julia Louis-Dreyfus." He goes, "That was not a meeting. That was
horrible."
He goes, "That was an angry encounter." Never not thought about
so
that phrase.
awesome.
October 18th, 2000, Zach Del Roca leaves Rage Against the Machine saying that the band's decision-making process has completely failed, which I think is mostly due to the guy climbing the tower.
Pretty diplomatic way to tell
They released their final album, Renegades, on December 5th. October 22nd.
It's always had a weird haze over it because of that, but it's not bad.
It's good.
It's a good cover album.
The Maggie's Farm is I can't with the Maggie's Farm.
Oh
Yeah.
I love the
put
rest.
that at the end of that movie. What's that? Will Ferrell, the other guys.
Yeah.
It's at the end of that, and I remember from the credits of that being
It's hard enough to take the Bob Dylan.
Yeah,
version,
me
really.
neither. Fucking capitals. I hate the Koch brothers.
Oh God.
I will say their version of In Your Eyes though by Minor Threat
Wait.
kind of rips.
I thought you were
Yeah.
talking Peter Gabriel.
I
Me too.
I was like, what
No,
the
and wait,
fuck
In
does
My
that
Eyes.
sound
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
In My Eyes. There's a difference. There's a difference.
What the fuck does that sound like?
They do In Your Eyes, yeah. They also do True by Spandau Ballet or whatever.
I love it.
October 26th, the first Subway Series World Series since 1956. The New York Yankees beat the New York Mets. Same day, PlayStation 2 is released.
What's up, Tony
Yep,
Hawk?
yep.
Let's do
Yeah.
this.
Look, my brother and I have been talking about this because PlayStation and PlayStation 2 are nostalgic retro now, and it's fucking with me because I'm like, I get it. Look at those ugly polygons.
Yeah.
Lipstick. I love it.
We used to make it vibrate when you'd play Sims.
Yeah.
That means, but it
Controllers.
saves-
Metal Gear Solid, where there was a part where you had to fucking tap. But it's a PlayStation 1 game. But and then your arm would be all sore, and the lady would be like, put the controller up to your arm, and it would vibrate and make you feel better.
Yeah.
We used to rent a PlayStation. You remember you could rent
I rented a
system?
PlayStation.
We used
years
to rent
before we got
PlayStation.
one.
Yeah.
It had the
Yeah.
weird case, the briefcase
Yeah,
thing.
that's right.
We used
Yeah,
to
yeah.
rent an Xbox.
There you
yeah.
go.
Uh-huh.
yeah.
I used to rent a Laserdisc player. What's up? I'm old.
Wow.
What's up, dog?
October 31st, I'll just run these quick. We've talked
Yeah.
about this song a million times. Down with the Sickness comes out on Halloween. Charles Barkley becomes an analyst for Inside the NBA. I did
Terrible becomes a word.
I did not realize he had been on that show for
Love to hear him
23
talk.
years.
Love to hear him
Me
talk.
neither.
Infinitely.
A cheesy gordita crunch. And a large drink.
Napster and BMG Music announce a partnership that will change the website into to a subscription-based
Wet
service.
And it disappeared.
And
Yeah.
it
Who gives a
disappeared.
Who cares?
It's one of those
pirates.
great moments where they're smiling and then you can just slow fade it into their tombstone.
Because you guys like the brand, right? It's not that it was all free. It's you like the brand.
You're like, you already liberated us. We're all pirates now. Get the fuck out of our way.
You already gave me a taste, baby. I can't go back. I'm not going back to you. I don't have brand loyalty here.
I
Yeah.
was like, this might be Lincoln Park, but it also might just be filth.
I'm here to take, baby. Take.
Seth was telling me that on the drive over to LA. He kept saying that every time on the phone. I'm here to take.
I'm here to take. I'm not giving shit. I'm taking as much as I can. Fill my arms up.
November 3rd, twin brothers Steve and Dave Jolliffe open a new business in Watford, a town 15 miles northwest of London. This is the first ever Top Golf.
Oh,
and
you Jolliffe.
Top Golf.
1 million bachelor parties are born.
Of course,
Wait, the
Top
fuck is
Golf.
this?
Yeah.
Top Golf. So Top Golf is like a several tiered driving range where it's all in the shade. They serve liquor and food. So it's basically like all the stuff that sucks about golf you don't have to do. You just get to hit a stick and drink.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
a bowling
I get the
alley,
deal.
but instead of bowling,
Okay,
it is
gotcha.
golf.
It's golf. Yeah.
But because everyone's drunk, they're going to even more readily do that. They're like, no, you got to bend your knees and you got to put your hand right here and let me touch your midsection.
Yeah.
That's a good way to
that's
get
gonna
kinda
happen even-
humped on a date.
Absolutely.
So November.
Just do not come from golf people even a little.
Well, I don't either.
There's
but
no
never-
circle on that
Yeah.
Venn diagram.
Yeah.
Just
We've
come from
never been to a Top
whatever other half of the room in
Golf.
your
Stepped foot in one
Rockefellers.
once. They
Yeah.
said, we're full, and we left and
Yeah.
never went back.
See, I've just been for like random bachelor parties, and it's always like, I'm going to eat the nachos and I'll hit 2 of these because they're free. I wouldn't pay to be here, but
Yeah.
hey.
Yeah.
Extent of knowledge I have about like driving ranges is literally the Range Boy episode of Pete and Pete.
November 6, 2000, at his final speech before Election Day in Bentonville, Arkansas, George W. Bush says, quote, "They misunderestimated me."
Fucking A. I love that.
And
flip it up for him. Talk crazy.
Turns out he was right. So before we even get into Bush, as far as the election day goes,
Sure.
we have to acknowledge that Bush's future attorney general and the man who is most famous for putting cloth over marble titties, John Ashcroft. So he lost
Quote
his
Immortal Technique. Fuck John Ash.
I mean, yeah,
Good.
so he lost his Senate campaign in Missouri. He lost to the former governor, Mel Carnahan, and Mel Carnahan was the former governor because 2 weeks before that, he died in a plane crash.
Whoa.
So John Ashcroft is still the only person to ever lose a national race to a corpse. So fuck that guy. All right,
Yeah,
so
fuck you, douchebag.
we do have listeners in other countries, and this is what you need to know about America. America is the richest country in the history of the world, and our election system is held together by glue and popsicle sticks.
If that.
And the only people that seem to know this in 2000 and continue, honestly, up right until this day, is the Republican Party. So essentially what you're looking at with Election Day 2000 is the Democrats trying to play a game of chess with a tornado. And that is kind of where we're at now. You know,
Yeah, it seems like it started there for sure.
it had been going.
pushback.
Because what I'm about to describe, if this had happened in 1960, there would have been a bunch of fucking union guys to bust heads and stop this bullshit.
Yeah.
But because the Democrats were like, hey, maybe we don't need working people. We can just have college-educated eggheads that are threatened by, conservatism and evangelicalism. Let's build that as a coalition. So anyway, we go into this. Florida, the race goes how it goes. Everything's coming down to Florida. 2 issues. There's the hanging chads, which is the fucking word that's drilled the most into my head, which was they had these voting machines that were punch cards. So instead of just marking down who you wanted, you had to punch it, but not all the machines were able to punch all the way through the fucking card. So there were a certain amount of ballots where there was still paper hanging to the ends, or they were pregnant chads where they were just pushed in but not punched through.
How many short-lived punk bands were called Hanging Chads?
Oh, yeah. But the thing that really fucked them was the butterfly ballots. So the butterfly ballots were introduced because in Florida, there's tons of old people who can't see. So the butterfly ballots had these big font on them. And so the idea was that old people could read it. So they were given out to old people. The problem is they had the candidates across the middle, and it was still a punch card system. So on one side, you would have Al Gore, and on the other side, you would have Pat Buchanan is what happened. So, and then in the middle, if you punch the wrong hole because you didn't correspond it to the other side, it would count for Buchanan. So there was a lot of votes that were traditionally Democratic areas that were heavily lived in by Jewish and Catholic people voting for Pat Buchanan, which is weird because Pat Buchanan is a Nazi who hates Catholics. So that didn't make a lot of sense. So there was a lot of discrepancies.
This really was the whole like beginning of Republicans' like obsession with voter fraud.
That's everything.
Oh,
that
yeah.
is literally this is the beginning of it because so razor thin election majority for the Republicans triggers an automatic recount in Florida. Votes are being counted. Beleaguered election officials are working tirelessly and being paid nothing for the most part for this. So that's the weak point that they see is like most of these people just want to fucking go home, you know. Cut to November 19th. The guys that I mentioned at the beginning, you've got Bush's lawyers, 1/3 of whom are now in the Supreme Court. So Kavanaugh, Coney Barrett, and Roberts. Those guys are basically trying to stop this vote count because they realize if Miami-Dade County gets counted, that's heavily Democratic. It's going to go in Al Gore's favor and he's going to win the election. They're ahead by like literally 136 votes. And so they have to stop this count. So they do a two-pronged attack. They try to tie him up in court. Meanwhile, they fly in a bunch of Republican Party apparatchiks from New York to come in and basically just cause problems where they're counting the votes. And if any of this starts to sound like January 6th, just stop me. But the idea is if we can get enough people to start enough bullshit, they'll stop counting and then we can tie them up in court, which is what everybody else is working on. And I'm not letting the Democrats off the hook here because Gore did fuck nothing. They were like, oh, well, clearly the American people will see this as bullshit and they'll just go with it. And you're like, no, man, you're playing chess with a tornado. Be a tornado. At
least they've gotten dramatically better.
It's literally like they learn nothing. They learn fuck
Rivers,
nothing.
Please. They learn far less than nothing. They have fallen back a great deal.
Yeah, and so what's funny is
at one point there were some charismatic people who could create forward movement.
So they have a guy. His name he's referred to later by Bush as Congressman Kickass, and his name is John E. Sweeney.
God, he's good at name and shit.
And John E. Sweeney literally has a Winnebago full of hoodlums.
What was the guy Bush called Turd Nugget or whatever?
No, Turd Blossom.
Turd Blossom.
That's
That was
Karl Rove.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
No, you've got a Winnebago parked outside where they're counting votes, and it's just full of shitheads, and they basically find out that they are going to take the votes because there's so many people outside this thing making noise. They need the votes to be closer to the voting machine so they can verify this. So they take it upstairs. At that point, John Sweeney is like, they're trying to steal the election. And then he talks the cops, the Miami-Dade Sheriff's Office, into letting him in. They take the elevator up, surround the office, start banging on the glass. They beat the shit out of one guy who's carrying a sample ballot. They think that he's stealing a ballot. Some guy yells, he's stealing a ballot. And then they beat his ass. And they stop the count. And that is how George Bush won.
Well, that's insane.
Yeah.
And that is called the Brooks Brothers riot. I was trying to...
The Dockers riot or something?
Yeah, the Dockers riot. They call themselves the Brooks Brothers Brigade. And all the Democrats who are upstairs overseeing the election, too, are just like, no one in Florida dresses like these assholes.
Yeah.
Like, everyone's wearing three-piece suits, and it's like, it's Miami. Why are you...
Like, it's hot out.
Yeah, but they're trying to present themselves as concerned citizens, like when really they're astroturfed protesters. And so anytime you hear Republicans being like, oh, George Soros is sending people, it's like, no, that's your thing. Y'all have the money. No, we don't. George Soros doesn't give a shit. He is concerned about making money as well. So anyway, at that point, it goes up to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court finds that because every county has a different system, and George W. Bush, according to the 14th Amendment, has equal protection under the law, that is the grounds by which they stop the recount and declare Bush the winner. They're like, oh, well, the 14th Amendment says he's got to be the president. And of course, the news media goes through, counts all the ballots, and later discovers that Al Gore won the fucking election. So, but Al Gore concedes, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, the guy who wrote his concession speech immediately got hired to write for The West Wing. Yeah, it's not.
Wait, are you saying that after they stopped fighting the Republicans, they went into the entertainment industry?
Yeah,
made a bunch of money and stopped working on that cause?
Yes, I am. And
the dream.
and by the way,
who wrote The West Wing? Aaron Eckhart.
Yeah.
Aaron Eckhart, yeah.
December 13th, Al Gore concedes, and that's all she wrote. Election 2000 is literally stopped by a fake riot from a bunch of shitheads. And one of those shitheads, by the way, is Matt Schlapp, who is the head of the American Conservative Union, aka the guy who puts on the CPAC conference every fucking year. Woo. He was a young party apparatchik working for fucking George Bush at that time. Almost every one of those motherfuckers got a cabinet position. It's bullshit. I was telling Kyle, it's really nice I was last night, it was about 2:30 in the morning, just getting pissed about the 2000 election all over again. Yeah. Because this was my political awakening. It really was. Like, I didn't give a shit until this happened. And then, even as a 14-year-old, this is when I became interested in this kind of shit and started reading the paper every day and becoming the dork that you see here now.
It was the moment I go from kind of like go with the flow of like the conservatism of the time.
Right.
And was definitely like when all of a sudden my think for myselfing really starts right around this time.
Oh, yeah. And nobody, few people benefited from this more than my man Jon Stewart. That's when I started watching The Daily Show every single night.
I really loved The Daily Show.
That's how I followed all this shit. Yeah.
I was also conservative, though. I was smoking weed, but I was wearing a three-piece suit. I had some pretty hardcore conservative ideals, but I was getting high.
Yeah. Well, anyway, we'll make it.
Did we know you'd be the future?
I'm joking. I was at an Elliott Smith concert. I don't know what the fuck is going on. I was going to say, I'd be like, my childhood sucked.
It took me about 2 years to even like put any of this together. I was I was 13.
Bad childhood, really just
15. As around like when I got my driver's learner's permit, where I was like, I don't think I like conservatives.
Well, yeah, as soon as there's the punk music, you're like, well, I can't.
I honestly think it started because during this election, I got into an argument with my social studies teacher in high school about something or another, and it pissed me off so bad. I was like, fuck you, I'm going to learn about this. And I went to the library.
Yeah.
I don't remember. I remember
using your knowledge as a weapon. I like it.
Well, it's more just like I was like, I'm stupider than I should be, and then it was like, all right, I'm going to, my body will always look like this, but I can make my brain strong.
This is the same election year from on my album, I'm a Person. I have a story about my budding liberalism and how I like to sometimes use words I didn't understand. And this same year, abortion was, of course, a hot button political issue, which I thought was the fancy word for being gay.
No.
And I was sort of in a position where, like, I thought maybe I might be abortion. I wasn't sure.
Oh, sure.
And so,
did you think it was abortion and then it was the article?
I wasn't doing too much thinking besides trying to. And so I remember we had the
Mom,
debate
Dad,
on abortion,
I'm abortion.
and I passionately got up and made a crazy speech. There's nothing wrong with abortion, and no one should be ashamed of abortion. And maybe there might even be some abortions in this class. They're too afraid to talk about it because Dave's an asshole.
Jesus.
And my joke is always that I just love that my teacher let me keep talking.
No.
Yeah, it's
And he's just sitting in the back of the room going like, this kid loves abortion.
That's awesome.
I think I just came liberal because I got forced to go to Catholic school for too long.
Well, I think you quickly figure out what's bullshit and what isn't, who's a rich cocksucker and who's like cares about real people.
Yeah.
That's where it really separates is, do you want to make a bunch of money or do you give a shit about people?
Do you like
who
people?
don't
Yeah,
have
I
money?
hated Bush so much. As
when he
a
got
kid that
reelected
couldn't
in
vote.
particular.
The next election was really.
That's when I was like, what the fuck?
I had a button from Hot Topic that said "Daddy's little warmonger." I wore it, and I was like, "You guys are sheep."
I have a mix CD that's in Sharpie. It's like fuck Bush.
Yeah.
That's all it says on it.
Yeah.
I don't know what was on that mix, but probably like that. What's that? Youth Against Fascism. Sonic Youth.
Like Sonic Youth?
I guarantee that's on. I hate. The fuck.
Well,
fuck Bush
lest you think Election Day wasn't all fun, this also happened on the Election Day.
Oh yeah.
Literally, this happened just to soothe the populace.
The
You're going to know it in about 10 seconds, if that.
One of my girlfriends.
Motherfuckers in the bathroom.
Yeah.
One of my girlfriend's most played artists to this day.
I
Is it
sing
really?
this all day long at the house saying motherfuckers in the bathroom. I look at the stupid narrative. Butt naked too. You gotta throw
They were playing this on the radio. I was in high school, so let me just tell you, like my first year of high school, the first thing that happened, like I walk into high school, I'm 14.
Pull it down as Shaggy comes in.
Yeah.
Remember the moment where you learned
right
that?
when Shaggy
This is Rick Rock, baby. Yeah. Oh no, this is Shaggy. Never mind.
Also, who's the guy that's with him on the song?
Rick Rock.
He's no one. Right?
Yeah. No.
Yeah. He's who most people think Shaggy is.
Yeah.
I think they're all Shaggy. Everyone on this song is Shaggy.
So many Shaggies on
It
this one
wasn't
song.
me.
Yeah.
So many Shaggy, so little time.
So I come into high school, and my memory of this song is this is happening during the great Adderall scandal of 2000, which is when I think 17 people in my class got kicked out of school for selling Adderall in the courtyard. So I'm I'm 14. I've just
Where
left
are they
junior high.
now?
I walk in, and I'm like walking across the courtyard, and people are like, "You need some A, man? Anybody need some A?" And that's what they called it.
man.
And I'm just like all chubby, just being like, "High school's different, you know? They're selling drugs out here." And this was on the fucking radio. When
Man.
I got in my mom's car, and after everybody got kicked out of school, and I was like, "Damn, everybody got kicked out of school," and we cranked it up, and this is what was playing. Like,
Man.
it's just indelibly linked in my mind.
I loved this song so much, and I was so young when it came out that I thought he meant like banging on the bathroom floor, like hitting it.
Yeah. Like, hey,
And I
hey,
was
stop
like,
doing that.
would be
What
annoying
about butt
if
naked?
you
He was
caught
just
somebody doing that.
banging on shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's naked,
Well,
fixing
to
the
me,
things around the
that
house.
makes
Maybe you
sense.
just got out of
You're
the
in
shower.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're
and
right.
he says she caught me in the shower.
Yeah.
And he was like, I'm not done with the
Yeah.
conditioner.
And I was like-
this pretty easy.
Yeah, and as a child, you're very big on it wasn't me. I didn't
true.
do that.
Oh, yeah.
So
I just-
denial.
Yeah, it's like it's a whole like manifesto of denial.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I
It was
mean?
a
whole
culture
thing.
that supported it.
Yeah. Hey, picture this. Picture this. We were both butt naked banging on the bathroom floor. Okay, picture this.
When
Motherfuckers
he
in the
says-
bathroom. Motherfuckers in the bedroom. It wasn't me.
So you can imagine my surprise.
He says she stayed until it was over. Like
Yeah.
stayed the
Until it was
whole
over.
time.
It was over. It wasn't me.
It's not over yet.
Motherfuckers
Yeah.
in my bathroom.
Oh yeah.
Motherfuckers in my bathroom.
I see that around the house every day. It's so annoying. I can't stop
Oh
doing
yeah,
it.
he does. A lot.
I throw in a lot of motherfuckers at the song.
Motherfuckers on my camera.
He sometimes
What's my Beyonce thing? That's communism is crazy right now. I'm like, it's so cool she was talking about communism.
sometimes,
Crazy right now.
She was always hot on the topic, so just immediately.
sometimes you like to say, "Call me butt fucking."
They call me butt fucking.
I say a lot of stuff about butt
Yeah, he
fucking.
says a
Well,
lot
because
about
the reason why is okay.
I remember one of the first things
You
he
know.
said that blew my mind was, you call me butt fucking in the party zone.
Yeah, that's it.
yeah,
He
I
loves
used to say
to
that
say you
shit.
call
I
her
would say
butt fucking.
But it's so funny because me and my brother were watching Tax Cab Confessions when we were like very young, and there's this John Malkovich
Yeah.
guy in the back seat, and he's like, I have AIDS, and she's like, oh, how'd you get AIDS? And he smiles and goes, butt fucking. My brother were like, fuck yes, this rules. HBO After Dark.
That's
baby.
the most taxi cab confession thing
Oh, yeah.
I've ever
She was
heard.
like,
Yeah.
oh, well, I suppose it checks out. Good stuff.
By the way, this same day in London, police managed to catch a criminal gang who were trying to steal the world's second largest diamond called the
Holy
Millennium
James
Star. Based on the description, the gang seems to be made up of a bunch of Ali G's. And there's a book about it called Diamond Geezers that I'm now dying to read. So
Diamond
future
Geezers.
pod, hopefully
Geezers.
coming soon.
Geezers, good.
Has a different
Excitement.
connotation in England.
Otherwise, they
Geezers.
incite
I like
violence.
to
Yeah.
call, I like to
Different.
call people
Common
geezers.
sense.
Also on election day, the DEA raided one of the country's largest ever LSD labs located in a converted military silo in
converted.
in Wamego, Kansas. Gordon Todd Skinner, a 36-year-old self-taught chemist with massive inherited fortune, converted the underground silo into a hidden palace complete with all leather furniture, a silo-wide sound system, luxurious hot tubs, Turkish baths, furnished with imported marble. Skinner
Damn, I
had
want to go there.
This guy fucking
Yeah,
rules.
they shut down this guy's badass life. Why?
So, well, he turns out to be a fucking rat. He
Always
sucks.
these Turkish bath
so-
party
Anybody with
palaces.
leather
You never
furniture
trust
is a
these
rat.
people.
These
We know
motherfuckers in the
that.
bathroom.
It's funny to
Motherfuckers
see
in the
which part of
bathroom.
it you guys weren't down for once you turned on him.
yeah.
These motherfuckers in the
Just the
bedroom.
leather furniture.
So
It wasn't me.
You were both like, I'm on board. Wait a minute. Hang on. Now that I've got to put
I don't
some
like a
distance.
fucking rat. I'll tell you that right
As
now.
well, we're bringing things up. Leather furniture. No, thank you. I don't want to sleep on it. I'll
Marble.
stick.
It wasn't me, is what you say.
So-
we learned nothing today. He's
So-
like, if only that song had come out a day earlier, I would have known just to deny everything.
So it is estimated that Skinner and his partner William Leonard Pickard produced around 90% of all the LSD circulating in the United States during the latter half of the 1990s.
Well, that's cool. I don't know if that sucks. It's
90%
badass.
of the
That's cool.
LSD came from this
So when
Military
Oh, that means
silo?
Andy Awancio was definitely taking
That's
this
pretty
ass.
I was gonna
fucking
say-
cool.
yeah,
I was like, the band Tool owes this guy a great deal of money in ticket sales.
So when they got busted, they were reportedly caught in possession of 2 billion hits of acid.
God damn, and they did them all right there in front of the
Yeah,
cops.
But
acid?
I'm going to prison right now.
did I say prison? I mean Andromeda.
My mind.
Brains came out
Go to
of
that
their ears.
prison that's a floating alien.
These guys are cool.
So worth noting though, the article that I found that it said it was 2 billion hits also said that these two guys were introduced by Jerry Garcia in 1998, which is 3 years after he was dead. So not possible.
Oh, you lied.
Yeah. So anyway,
Bullshit. It still happened.
I will say
They didn't say corporeal Jerry Garcia.
yeah. It might have been on the astral plane.
for a self-taught chemist to then produce 90% of the drug is quite a feat.
American
honestly.
success story.
So there was actually like not a lot of acid on the street for a while
Yeah,
after they got busted.
Good on them for bringing
On
it
the
back.
street.
Me and Carter looked right at each other on the street. Huh?
So
The streets were fucking flooded with
I'm
acid.
telling you, dude. Stick your tongue out, shit would happen.
So the reason they got caught is because Skinner got too paranoid and called the cops on himself.
No.
And offered to give up the other guy for immunity. And so they busted the other guy. But Skinner got immunity and left Wamego after the bust, but was eventually convicted of kidnapping, assaulting, torturing, and forcibly dosing a number of victims with LSD. In 2006, he is currently serving 90 years in prison. Never trust the fucking rat.
No, never trust a fucking
That means
rat.
that the house is perhaps available.
It's been remodeled. They took out the Turkish baths, unfortunately.
Bummer. Kind
And
of a deal breaker.
It's been resold, but yeah, it's still around.
What
It's-
is the Turkish bath been turned into?
I assume somebody's weird
Screening
fucking
room?
house, yeah, or somebody's COVID bunker. They're still in, and they don't know that it's
Why leave?
not as dangerous.
Unless it's to go bring.
I mean,
Motherfuckers in my
I just need to know so much more
Please
about
leave
this
my
man
silo.
that would then kidnap people and force them to do LSD when he had everything at his disposal. People were doing any drug he made for a long time.
and he also
That's-
It's got an MK Ultra sort of connotation to it.
Well,
pretty fucked up.
he is also one of the people that helped to synthesize mescaline as well. So he
damn.
was doing a lot of work. They
He
had
taught himself a lot.
Molly in there, mescaline.
And that's like he's reading books and
Man,
stuff, you know? It's not like he could ask ChatGPT, how do I make acid?
Lord knows I have asked ChatGPT.
Yeah.
How do I make acid?
Like, Seth, get a job.
I know, like, will you help me get a job? When you
No, you got to take care of yourself.
Chat GPT, what's going to happen to me?
Well, Carter, that depends on how you want to change right here, right now.
I'm scared, Chat GPT. Chat GPT. I'm scared, Chat Gran Turismo. Hold me.
Oh my God, that movie, Jesus.
all these are fucking right.
November 18th, 2000. All That ends its original run on Nickelodeon.
Oh shit, you better give it up.
And in other news on that particular blessed snick, the Auburn Tigers beat the Alabama Crimson Tide 9-0. Fuck y'all.
Eventful night.
So
I feel like that was pointed at me. And you know what? I'll give it to you. I am a UA alumnus.
November 22nd, Unbreakable is released.
Oh yeah, I saw it and didn't
What?
get it at the time.
Never still haven't seen it.
I
yeah.
saw it. I liked
missed
it.
it.
First half sort of boring, even if it is kind of a cool idea.
Yeah.
What if you're like, I've never seen that or the James McAvoy Animal Man movie.
Oh, that's all right.
But what if like Glass was my favorite movie?
That's because you got glass in your name.
Yeah, it's because like my other favorite movie, Cock. Yeah.
Cock in your mouth. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. We know each other well. I can't help. I'm sorry. Sorry. We
I'm
say,
gonna go jump out into the 101. Oh my god,
motherfuckers in my bathroom.
I'm sweating. Okay,
December 15th, we get two classics, Dude, Where's My Car, and Battle Royale. Both come out on the
Battle
same
Royale
fucking
fucking
day.
rules.
Yeah, exactly.
I got like a VHS copy of the like DVD off a region-free DVD or something because you couldn't buy.
I got it on
know it.
Netflix when I was in college.
Oh,
so
really? Yeah.
that was where the only place you could get it was
It's
mailed
great
to your
movie.
house. Fucking amazing.
rules, yeah.
movie.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great.
December 20th.
I also think Dude, Where's My Car is a fascinating movie because if you don't know it's a science fiction
Yes.
film.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And it
Of course.
has maybe one of the most poor taste funny jokes of all time, which is that the aliens, after they thank them, the way they thank them is they make their girlfriend's boobs bigger.
Hell yeah.
So fucking funny.
2000, baby.
I was gonna say 2000. We were and remain a dumbass fucking country.
Uncrustables and titties.
Big titties just made everything better back then.
It is. I mean, even as a young man, I was like, this is an insane joke. I am going to laugh forever, but God.
Bush just tries to get the movie put in like the library of like historically important films based on that one part.
Hal Sparks, baby.
There's so many weird things that
Hal
happen
Sparks?
in rapid succession before that you're just punched drunk.
Yeah, like did the alien just? All
The
right.
Swedish aliens have like crashed into a golf and stuff.
December 21st, Adult Swim starts to really take shape. We get the premiere of the Brack Show.
I own the whole series.
C-Lab
on
2021.
DVD. I own that too.
Harvey Birdman, Attorney at Law,
Most of that.
and Aqua Teen Hunger Force all
that up to
premiere
season
that
7.
week.
Yep.
So Space Ghost existed
Way
before that.
Oh,
Right.
yeah.
Space Ghost, was a free floating one.
Yeah. December 22nd, these are the Christmas release movies, and we got some bangers here. We got the birth of You're the Man Now, Dog.
Finding Forrester?
Yeah, it comes out.
man.
Finding
yeah.
Forrester, Good Will Hunting 2.
Yeah.
I love that.
I like to think of it as Dr. No 12.
Yes, give this man something. Give him a fucking Uncrustable and a pen on that.
We also get Castaway.
Oh, that's fucking great.
I love
Great movie.
Castaway.
Castaway's
I didn't
Such a
see it
good
until
movie.
recently because I was very like on my fuck these mainstream movies.
Yeah.
At
Really?
the time.
I
Yeah,
brought
that
him
movie
into the world
or like
of Castaway.
it's very
and
easy
he
to be like
loved
Steven
it.
Spielberg and Robert Zemeckis are assholes or something when you're like into art film. But
Yeah.
they're not. They're wonderful directors. And,
I'll
and
say,
that's probably his
dude,
last
Zemeckis
really
Started
amazing.
dating me, and I showed him what good movies.
Hell yeah.
It is very.
All
Me and
came
Carly
from
really
Hollywood.
got me. We watched Castaway again. Yeah,
Yeah.
man, Zemeckis, what a great.
Yeah,
filmmaker.
and that
Like,
movie's.
freaking
I
great.
mean, there's a lot of silence, man. I mean, they really,
yeah.
they
Yeah.
really own that shit and make it captivating.
So good.
Rewatch What Lies Beneath now.
Oh, yeah.
He made that in between the two
Yeah.
pieces of Castaway, and that movie is an excellent horror
Yes.
movie.
Yeah.
Like it's like
I
the
haven't
last
seen that
thing
so
Harrison
long.
Ford is like good in.
And you know, he made that while Tom Hanks got skinny.
Yes, that's what it
That
is.
was
Yeah,
the whole
like-
thing. They had like basically a year, and he was like, "Fuck it, I'll make this other movie."
Yeah.
Wow.
Well,
Which is pretty
so
amazing.
and by the way, Tom Hanks no longer does that because he
Yeah.
gave himself diabetes.
No shit.
Getting fat and skinny for different
looks
movies.
crazy.
It's the same
hell in that
thing.
movie,
Christian
too.
Bale has like a super fucked up heart from going big
Yeah,
and small.
from being
Machinist,
Dick
he
Cheney.
looks-
He inherited
Yeah.
Dick Cheney's heart.
Oh, and the
man.
machinist,
Well-
he's like, you can
He
see
did
the-
American
know.
Psycho Machinist and Batman,
Oh.
and they literally said,
Yeah.
if you do that again, you will die.
You're gonna
dude,
die.
I mean,
Yeah.
But what a way to get diabetes. You know, my
I know.
My aunt just got it from eating.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, like what a way to get it.
At least I got a couple Oscars.
Yeah, I did it super cool. I got it because I was
Tom
Batman.
Hanks did it in a real badass kind of way.
At least your aunt didn't do it for some mid-ass movies.
Aw, dude. She just did
Smoking
it 'cause
mids.
she's
Remember
tripping.
mid-grade weed? That's gone. That was a 2000
She's trying to get on disability, you know? I love you,
fucking
Rhonda.
great.
So yeah, we got Castaway, Finding Forrester, and then man, a movie that has contributed so much to my life, which is of course, motherfucking Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? Comes out.
Yeah.
This ends up being, I think, the first soundtrack to ever win Album of
Yes,
the
I
Year
believe
at the
so.
Grammys. Fucking unimpeachable. People remember the soundtrack. The movie is so strong. It is got some of the funniest fucking lines. Lines that when Joe Raines, Wes Van Horn, and I hang out together.
Let me tell a version of this. One of my greatest moments in my entire life was driving to goddamn Drive-By Truckers the Regal, and it is me sitting in a car with Dave Stone, Rivers Langley, Wes Van Horn, and Joe Raines.
Yeah.
And for 30 minutes in traffic,
Yeah.
I listened to the four of them simply say quotes from Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?
Go for Everett.
And as a fucking fan of the Southern accent, I literally just sat and went. You know, like when a comedy fan like goes to a lunch, it was that, but just me going like, do you guys want to read some poems too? Like,
We ain't got a constituency, you dumb some bitch.
fuck, it was beautiful.
They shot part of this
You
movie
dumb cracker.
in Mississippi,
In
and
Mississippi.
I got to go watch them film it.
You're bona
Wow.
fide?
You're bona fide.
I was so young that there's a scene where George Clooney has daughters.
Yes.
And they're
Yeah.
singing.
The little
And-
Warby
yeah.
girls.
And my sister and I were like, fuck those little girls. We could have been them. Why did they hire us?
That's the Perkins.
And oh yeah, we were so upset. We were like, we're really good singers. Like, why aren't we live here? We're already here. Like, why aren't we in this movie?
So they kicked those little girls' asses.
But
and they
my
took their
mom used to
places,
take
always
us
in
to
the movie.
set all the time because she was like, you're gonna want to have been here, but we'd be like, it's hot. I'm bored. This old guy.
That's so boring, but
yeah,
awesome.
That might be my favorite scene in the movie when he finally runs into his daughters and goes, "You ain't our daddy."
Hell, I ain't. What's this Warby gal's? Your name's McGill.
No, sir, not since you got hit by that train.
What are you talking about? I wasn't hit by any train.
Mama says she was hit by a train. Bluey, nothing left. Just a grease spot on the L&N.
Damn it, I wasn't hit by any train.
So good.
I'm the damn paterfamilias. I didn't even know what that meant, where he's like, at some point he goes,
That's another thing. Why are you telling our gals I was hit by a train?
Lots of respectable people been hit by trains. Judge Hobby over in Cookville was hit by a train. What was I supposed to tell him? That you were sent to the penal farm and I divorced you from Shane?
I take your point, but it does put me in a damn awkward position vis-a-vis my progeny.
that is the aesthetic I think I've wanted to cultivate
It's
my
so
entire
good.
life.
I'm a Dapper Dan man. I say that shit all the time.
Yeah, I don't want
Same.
I don't want fuck. God damn it. I'm a Dapper
Now
Dan man.
this is a famous person that came to the bar that I was present for.
Oh, hell yeah, hit me.
So fucking one time Stephen Root came to the bar. And I fucking love Stephen Root and I was like fanboying out or whatever. And no one else knew what the fuck. My coworkers didn't know who that was. And I was just like,
my favorite quote of all time.
well, I was like listening off all of his shit and like, and they're like, and I was like, he's the crazy eyes guy from Oh Brother Where Art Thou? Or like, that was the thing that then I was like, he's also voice of fucking Dale, or he's the voice of Bill Dauterive, and
he's I'm gonna burn the building to the
I was Ralph Stanley, the like 90-year-old bluegrass legend.
I've seen many times live.
Right,
Yeah.
I'm going to say something sort of fucked up.
Oh, I'm sure. a 100-year-old man from the mountains in Virginia did something fucked up. Go ahead.
So, as an editor, I had to edit this EPK for an album he put out, and so I had to watch this interview with him. You know, he's very old, so it took him a while to sit down. The questions, he's answering them very slow. He's like, he's answering the questions, but I mean, getting sound bites are really hard. And then, as soon as he would mention women or whiskey, he'd be like, "Well, look at his lips." Oh my good God, this man goes to life as soon as the bullshit gets involved. And they're like, he's like, yeah, we like the bluegrass sound. That was, but if we got a whiskey, we. It's like, oh, that's cool. Let's move on. Anyway, so I had to watch all this raw footage of him getting all horny, and it was fucking hilarious. And then he died. And I'm sure his family misses him.
God bless. God bless Dr. Ralph. Yeah, I
Thinking
saw
about whiskey and titties.
I saw Dr. Ralph at Bonnaroo. I saw Dr. Ralph in Opelika. I saw Dr. Ralph a bunch, man.
Yeah,
he was
he's
great.
fucking amazing.
My favorite thing about his stage show is he would do the same thing that Skinner does where they pretend they're not going to play Freebird. He would come out without the banjo and he'd be like, well, I've turned over banjo duties to the younger members of my band, so I'm probably not going to play it. And then, of course, they give him it and he just shreds. He's fucking amazing.
Awesome.
I'm just kidding. Suck it, Bella Fleck.
Someone whispered whiskey in his ear and he went, whoa. He was 22 years old again.
Sorry,
Ralph.
Watching the way different old guys sort of like maintain themselves on stage is a fascinating thing to me.
Yeah.
I saw Al Green down half a Gatorade after each song. It was true. Like, you got a system.
Yeah.
Like, you have set this up, Reverend.
Got to replenish the electrolytes.
So failing to go anywhere near the black after Christmas, Montgomery Ward closes its doors forever. They've been open since 1872 on December 28th. And finally, we get to December 31st, 2000. Chris Robinson marries Kate Hudson.
Oh, what's up, Almost Famous? You're both almost famous. What do you really got there?
Fucking David Spade over here.
Hollywood Minute.
Dick Clark's New Year's Rockin' Eve returns with Bon Jovi, Casey and the Sunshine Band, Kiss, NSYNC, O-Town, Jessica Simpson, and Wayne Brady.
O-Town, baby.
I just remember we named, me and my friend Matt Bell, we lived together and our cat disappeared and then it came back and we named it Bon Jovi because Bon Jovi also came back.
I didn't even mention It's My Life, but that happened.
I was so
that was
young that I
2000?
thought he started then.
Oh,
and
really?
I was like, that's kind of cool. They're letting this old guy have a career.
Sexy, kind of.
Yeah, I was like, he's kind of hot. I'm into it.
Pretty good.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
I once knew a guy who, like, one of the funniest photos ever, a friend of mine sent it to me, that was just a tattoo that just said, "It's my life, Bon Jovi," was tattooed on someone's body.
Oh, yeah.
Like if the quote was attributed to Bon Jovi.
That is what he
funny.
always says.
Oh, man.
I ain't gonna
I got a tattoo. Motherfucker,
I just want to live while I'm alive.
It wasn't me.
It's my life.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
New Year.
that's the middle of the road. Meanwhile, over on MTV, their New Year's Eve broadcast comes back from a commercial with 2 minutes left before midnight. And Carson Daly says, and I am not kidding, he says, "We're back here in New York. This is like ground zero to rock in 2001.
Whoa.
Rosario Dawson and Rose McGowan flank him on either side. They are very drunk, and Marilyn Manson plays Surrender by Cheap Trick. And so there we go.
I think
it goes.
the four of them did 9/11.
I mean,
That night they talked about it after Carson said it.
Carson Daly's life
Probably
is
what sparked
crazy.
the idea.
And they were drunk as fuck when they did it. Made mistakes.
Oh, no,
Marilyn
no.
Manson's a jerk, so we know he would do something.
Yeah, well, they had already planned it at the beginning of this year, so
Carson Daly said, "I feel good about at least the next 8 months."
yeah. So that is it. Our grand overview of the year 2000. Did we miss something? Tweet at us at The Goods Pod.
How could
we'll
Second half of 8th grade.
shout it out.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. I think I went to Disneyland or Disney World right now. That's what I was doing in December of 2000. But yeah, so
Faith Hill.
oh fuck yeah,
I saw Faith Hill right after. No, Trisha Yearwood right after 9/11.
nice. Let's go around and tell people what they need to know on the way out the door. Carter, where can people find you online?
You can find me at Carter_Glasscock on Twitter and Instagram. I'll tell you that. And TikTok, probably, too.
I'll tell you that for free.
Oh.
Yeah, you can have that one. That's on the house.
Holly Perkins, where can people find you online?
You can find me pretty much everywhere at Holly Perk, except for Instagram. I'm at Perkalurk.
Hell yeah. Seth, where can people find you?
It's motherfuckers in the bathroom at Twitter. No. It's Seth Pomeroy at Twitter and Instagram. And I always fucking forget to promote and sell a fucking movie I spent a long time making. There's a movie about a band called Silkworm, and a lot of these 2000s artists of indie rock era in the film are referenced. That movie is for sale at buy.couldn'tyouvait.com. And I have another movie on the way about Chris Crofton, which we talked about last week, and you'll see soon.
Yeah, hell yeah. Nashville Famous coming soon.
Yeah.
Kyle, where can people find you?
I am at Kyle Clark on Instagram, and I am 20% invested in an album called The Crystal Pistol from Carter Glasscock.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Dash record.
My laugh is on
My
there.
good little earner's got to shake himself on this podcast. Here.
I'm sorry, Daddy.
Right? You don't make mistakes twice for this reason.
No, we don't. We
Keep
don't.
ready to make a mistake again. Anyways, I also have an album called Absolute Terror.
It's great.
That
Just
is
listen.
on there. We actually just released a couple of great records. Ron Swallow's on the Ring of a Dragon, recorded outdoors in motherfucking Long Beach, California.
Oh, yeah.
At a crazy house party show. That one's super fun. And then also, I will keep pushing it out. Andy Wancio's Hard Trans EP. Ladies and gentlemen, a weird little one-man record label got a trans female comedian into iTunes Top 10 before Comedy Central.
Fuck yeah.
Please continue listening and shame them endlessly.
Yes.
Because it took like $40. So it just means they're lazy and bad. I did it in like a month by myself. They could have done it in a day.
Get it together.
At any given point, they could have chosen any trans comic and done it, and they choose not to every day. Remind them of that and get that album, that EP.
Hell yeah. Find me on Twitter and Instagram at Rivers Langley. The best way to support the show, head to patreon.com/thegoodspod. Second best way to support this show, head to Apple Podcasts, rate, review, and subscribe. Show the attitude of gratitude, because if you do not have the attitude of gratitude, daddy, we're going to hang you Chad, motherfucker. The Goods from the Woods was recorded and edited by me, Rivers Langley. You can find our show on Twitter at The Goods Pod. Our theme song was composed by Jonas, the Space Cowboy.
This was a Brain Freeze podcast.